Chapter 1028. After hearing the pretty girl's application, all the students in the class reacted. She was most likely here for Hiyenji. She had transferred all the way here for Hiyenji. If this wasn't love, what was there to be sad about? After the old witch heard this, she pushed the glasses on the bridge of her nose. It would have been fine if the person sitting next to Hiyenji was an ordinary person, but it had to be little Chi. Even if she was last, she was still the daughter of the Sheng family. Changing seats depended on little Chi's opinion. However, in the eyes of the entire class, if little Chi didn't change seats, it would be too unkind. After all, the girl had already chased him all the way here. Therefore, all the students in the class looked at little Chi. However, little Chi lowered her head and tidied up the stationery in her stationery box. What was wrong with her? She had been sitting here for almost a year. Why did she have to give in when others liked her? Can I? Yenji? The girl was asking Hiyenji this question. This made little Chi even angrier. The seat was hers. Why did she need someone else's permission? Who was spoiled? The teacher can set up a table in the back and put Hiyenji and the new student together, little Chi said with a fake smile. After all, I'm a native. I don't want to move my butt. But I'm alone here. I'm not familiar with this place. I only know Yenji. The little girl's eyes were brimming with tears. She was so wrong that she was about to cry. But at this moment, I don't know you. Hiyenji propped himself up and replied calmly, besides, I've transferred to so many schools. Who knows which one you're talking about? Everyone vomited blood. Hiyenji was really wasting God's gift. Another little beauty who was like a moth flying into a flame. After the teacher heard this, she arranged for the little beauty to sit in the middle of several rows away from the two of them. However, the little beauty's gaze never left Hiyenji. From the looks of it, she really knows you, little Chi said calmly. Little Chi said calmly, originally, I also wanted to be an adult, but I don't like to be modest, especially when it comes to white lotuses. So, even if you want to catch up with the little beauty, you can only wait until after school. After Hiyenji heard little Chi's words, he immediately raised his head and looked at her. Can I understand that you're jealous? Who cares about you? Little Chi snorted and didn't buy it. However, Hiyenji reached out under the table and held little Chi's fist. You're quite jealous. Let go. Little Chi exploded. The first kiss is mine. What's wrong with holding hands? Hiyenji didn't think much of it. Little Chi reached out and pushed him away. Then she carried her bag and walked out of the classroom. Hiyenji was stunned. Could it be that he had teased her too much? He really wanted to restrain himself, but his heart couldn't help it. Just like that, little Chi left the classroom without saying goodbye. A moment later, a delicate figure sat in little Chi's seat. Hiyenji's voice became dangerous and cold. Move your legs away from the chair immediately. The little beauty who was being fiercely looked pitiful. This is just a position. Not just anyone can stay by my side. After saying that, Hiyenji also carried his bag and left the classroom. The little beauty's name was Enruoli. Her family background was not bad. She had indeed been in the same school as Hiyenji in the past. Moreover, she had transferred schools because of him. However, Hiyenji had never looked at her in the eye. Never. Chapter 1029. Hiyenji rode his motorcycle and arrogantly found little Chi. However, at this time little Chi was about to get into her family's Rolls-Royce. When Hiyenji saw this, he immediately stopped. However, little Chi noticed him. Seeing that his expression was not right, she said to the bodyguard, Uncle Hui, you go home first. Miss. Little Chi did not listen to his advice. She carried her school bag and walked to Hiyenji's side. Then she directly got onto his motorcycle. Didn't you say that if there's a group fight again you'll bring me along? Hiyenji wore a helmet and smiled. Are you sure? If a dangerous person like me leads the Sheng family's young lady astray, I won't have a good time, right? If you don't say it and I don't say it, no one will know. Little Chi held his shoulder and said, Take your wife somewhere else to review her lessons. After saying that, Hiyenji started the motorcycle and brought little Chi to the billiard hall. Seeing that she looked unfamiliar, he smiled. This is your first time here, right? Indeed. Little Chi looked inside. It was a little murky. However, this was a place where gangsters stayed for a long time. Little Chi had seen police movies before. If you're not used to it, just say it. I'll send you back to your world. Little Chi pretended not to hear him and went straight into the hall of the billiard bar. When the boy beside her saw such a beautiful girl, he couldn't help but whistle at her. However, following Hiyenji's actions, the people around him immediately did not dare to act rashly. This was because Hiyenji very naturally put his arm on little Chi's shoulder. It was as if he was swearing sovereignty. Brother He, hello Brother He. Along the way they were all greeting him respectfully. A 13-year-old boy actually made a person in his early 20s bow to him? It was really magical. Brother He, this is your first time. The curator of the billiard hall looked at little Chi meaningfully and said to He Yenji, "Little girlfriend?" "Wrong, it's my wife," He Yenji answered sloppily. "So beautiful. What service do you need?" Hearing this tone, little Chi frowned. "Just give me a private room," He Yenji said lightly. "Okay." The curator looked at He Yenji and smiled ambiguously. The people around him also revealed meaningful looks. Little Chi was calm and composed. She didn't have the self-awareness of being Big Brother's woman at all. She was only curious about these people's entertainment. However, after entering the private room she was stunned. Because He Yenji directly grabbed her bag and poured out her homework. "Do it here." The people outside all thought that He Gu brought a little girlfriend to do something bad. In the end he was doing his homework in the private room. "Homework? Why? Are they all afraid of you?" Little Chi sat on the scarlet sofa and asked. "Because I've been beaten." He Yenji answered calmly and sat down on the table. "Can I get into the top 10 in the midterm exam?" "Why do you care? Everyone outside thinks that we're kissing inside. Do you think I'm in charge of you?" He Yenji pointed outside the door and asked little Chi, "Can't you take the exam properly?" "Why do I feel like I've fallen into your wolf's den?" Little Chi frowned and pouted. "I'm just asking you to do your homework. Am I not pure?" He Yenji opened her homework book. "You have to know that if I really want to do something to you, even if your father comes out, he might not be able to settle it immediately." Chapter 10:30. You want to sleep with me? Little Chi raised her head and asked He Yenji, who was sitting at the table. He Yenji heard her say this sentence casually and felt a headache coming on. "Have you asked anyone else this question?" Little Chi shook her head. "Be good, you're a little girl. Don't be so explicit." After saying that, He Yenji stroked little Chi's hair. "After you finish the homework I arranged for you today, I'll take you out to play. Moreover, it won't be the same every night. Do you want it?" Little Chi lowered her head and thought for 2 seconds. Finally she nodded. "Pinky promise." "Oh no, my future wife is very playful." He Yenji sighed. This little girl was really interesting. "However, I reckon that your father will come looking for you soon." After little Chi heard this, she immediately raised her hand. "You guarantee my safety outside and I guarantee your safety in front of my father. My wife, what do you think?" After saying that, He Yenji jumped off the table handsomely. "The sooner you finish it, the sooner you can play something new." For the first time little Chi was full of anticipation for her homework. "Aren't you going to guard me here?" "I'm guarding you. What else are you going to do?" After saying that, He Yenji reached out and opened the door of the private room. He said to the curator, "Boss, help me keep an eye on her. Don't let anyone disturb her." "Don't worry, young master He. No one can touch your people," the curator said to He Yenji as he wiped the cup. As the curator wiped the cup, he said to He Yenji, "But aren't you accompanying your little girlfriend inside? She has something else to do." In the entire world, He Yenji was probably the only one who would bring the little girl to the billiard hall to do her homework. Little Chi's heart itched, especially when she secretly watched He Yenji play billiard through the gap. She wished she could tear the homework in her hands apart. A moment later, He Yenji put down the billiard cue and returned to the private room. He picked up little Chi's homework and looked at it. His eyebrows immediately furrowed. "You only got 2 right? Who told you to go out and play by yourself without me?" After hearing little Chi's words, He Yenji couldn't help but laugh. "So you wanted me to guard you? You should have said so earlier." "No." He Yenji didn't wait for her to refuse. He directly put down the pool cue and sat down beside little Chi. "You were the one who said that you wanted to play with me. If you really want to play with me, then focus on improving your grades. You and I both know that if you come out with me just to fool around, then the school and your parents will soon intervene. How awesome is it that I can lead the daughter of the Sheng family astray?" Little Chi was stunned. "I promised to bring you to play with some good stuff. Can't you just do your homework properly?" After little Chi heard this, she snatched the exercise book and started doing it again. 10 minutes later, she returned it to He Yenji. "Is this okay?" After He Yenji finished reading, he was even more puzzled. "Why are you pretending in front of me if you know how to do it? Are you afraid that I won't let you play? She has a good family background, a beautiful face and excellent grades. How hateful is that? This little girl is so awesome." He Yenji couldn't stop laughing. "I'll bet another 10 questions." After you finish them, I'll teach you how to play billiards. You mean it? Hiyenji nodded very seriously. Then he stood next to little Chi and bet on the questions for her. At this moment, little Chi leaned on the table and looked at Hiyenji without saying a word. After a long while, however, she heard Hiyenji's annoying voice ring in her ears. You must be very proud to have such a handsome and capable husband, right? Chapter 1031. Little Chi's shadow bodyguard was outside the billiard hall, looking very helpless. Looking at the time, it was already 9 o'clock in the evening, but Miss Lin had not come out yet. It should be known that this place was full of crooks and honest people, and the social relations were extremely complicated. Thinking of this, Cheng Hui could only bite the bullet and barge in, claiming to be little Chi's parent. The curator was in a dilemma. After all, if it were any other hooligan, he would have sent them away directly, but this was the little girl's parent. Therefore, the curator could only point to the private room where the two of them were. After Cheng Hui heard that, his face darkened. He angrily walked over and kicked open the door of the private room. When he saw the scene inside, he was completely embarrassed. This was because his mistress was obediently sitting on the chair doing her homework, while Hiyenji was lying on the sofa reading words to her. For a moment, the scene was extremely awkward. Little Chi looked up at her bodyguard and immediately said, "Uncle Cheng, give me another half an hour. Also pay for the broken door." Cheng Hui immediately left the room respectfully. When Hiyenji saw this, he laughed so hard that his shoulders kept shaking. "He's your bodyguard? What? He's very powerful, a national champion in Sanda, boxing and wushu." Little Chi raised her chin and answered, "He's loyal but a little honest. In the future, I will protect my wife." After saying that, Hiyenji threw away the English book in his hand. "Let's go. I'll take you out for half an hour." Little Chi immediately packed up her stationery and school bag and walked out of the private room with Hiyenji. As for the others, they were also surprised. She thought the child's parents would be able to catch some erotic scenes when they went in, but she never imagined that the great young master he would actually bring the little girl to the billiard hall to do her homework. It's not impossible, right? Right? Then Hiyenji brought little Chi to the side of the billiard table. He jumped onto the stage and told little Chi with a smile, "I taught you these things. Don't tell your father." "TSK, if my dad wants to know, he doesn't need me to tell him. As long as you follow the rules, he won't do anything to you." How am I unruly?" Hiyenji jumped off the table. He held the billiard cue in one hand and little Chi's fist in the other. "Does this count?" Cheng Hui's forehead twitched when he saw this. Should he stop it or not? Forget it, it was better not to go up. After all, his young mistress was also top-notch in martial arts. Since she did not resist, it meant that she did not hate him. "You're so bad." Little Chi did not struggle because she found it new. Hiyenji turned around and wrapped his arms around her. "Is this the first day you met me? If it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad thoroughly." However, little Chi grabbed his arm and threw him over her shoulder. Wow, everyone present was shocked. Someone actually dared to throw Hiyenji. Most importantly, she dared. Hiyenji sat on the ground, his posture handsome. "I knew you were hiding it. Your own husband, yet you didn't go easy on him. Are you still teaching?" Little Chi held the billiard cue and asked with her chin raised. "Teach? What a difficult wild girl to tame." After saying that, Hiyenji stood up. He did not do it on purpose and became serious. After all, he would definitely do what he promised. Cheng Hui stood to the side, his heart hanging in midair. These two ancestors were really living ancestors. How was he going to explain it to Master Xiao? However, he did not expect that when the time came, Hiyenji would push little Chi to Cheng Hui. "Go home, good child." Chapter 1032. Little Chi did not linger on anyone. She carried her school bag and walked to Cheng Hui. "Let's go, Uncle Hui." Cheng Hui subconsciously glanced at Hiyenji. He felt that this child was very bad, but he also felt that there was something different about him. After the two of them walked out of the billiard hall, Cheng Hui said to little Chi in fear, "Miss, it's better not to come to such a dangerous place in the future. I won't be able to explain it to Master Xiao. You know that I won't lie. Moreover, that child Hiyenji looks like a high-level criminal." Little Chi smiled calmly and said to Cheng Hui, "Just tell my dad the truth." "Can I?" "Of course. Because the devil is your daughter, Uncle Cheng Hui." Only little Chi and Hiyenji knew best that they were actually the same kind of people. She looked innocent and lively, but she was actually very mature. How could Master Xiao not know what his daughter was capable of? After little Chi returned home, Xing Xiao had just come out of the study. The father and daughter had a tacit understanding. Wait for me in the study. Where's Mom? She's out in the field. I'll pick her up later. Master Zhao's words were calm. Little Qi obediently entered the study. A moment later, she saw Master Zhao take Mu Qiqi's coat and return to the study to have a heart-to-heart talk with his daughter. Puppy love? No, I just think it's fun, Little Qi immediately explained. You're not allowed to deal with He Yanji. Is your dad that free? Master Zhao frowned. I don't object to you having dealings with He Yanji, but you have to know your limits. Some things can only happen at the right age. If he can't even do this, I'll have to doubt your taste. Then you won't care if he takes me racing, takes me to the billiard hall, or even more. You have your own bottom line. Xing Xiao trusted his daughter very much. I only have one request. You can't let your mother be sad. Your illness when you were 9 years old almost killed her heart. I don't want to repeat it a second time. I know. Little Qi nodded. I can't bear to. Go back to your room and rest. I'll go pick up your mother. I'll go too. Little Qi immediately raised her hand. Dad, are you relieved? When I was young, I always wanted to marry you. Nonsense. Master Xiao did not object to Little Qi and He Yanji's interaction. What did this mean? He had already investigated He Yanji's 18 generations of ancestors. Moreover, he had also carefully studied He Yanji as a person. Of course, it was only limited to the two of them. If he wanted to do anything else, that would depend on his ability. Most importantly, He Yanji had more or less the shadow of him from back then. He would never misjudge a person. Some people might seem bad or unreasonable, but in fact, the fanaticism in his heart was unimaginable. As for whether He Yanji was really as he had imagined, only time would give him the answer. After a while, the father and daughter sat in the car and chatted. Dad, why don't you like me playing with Tang Xiaobao? There's nothing I don't like. Serious people are boring. I can't bring you to experience a different life. He was disdainful of Tang Xiaobao's routine. Then you regret meeting my mother later, right? I didn't protect her since she was young. Master Xiao did not say anything. Ever since Little Qi was 5 years old, he had seen through his daughter's nature. She was definitely not a good baby. Sure enough, all these years, only Mu Qiqi felt that her daughter was obedient and well-behaved. In fact, Little Qi was too smart. Even an adult was only SOSO. Therefore, he never thought that Little Qi would be at a disadvantage if she stayed together with He Yanji. His daughter did not mean that. Even 10 He Yanzis would not be able to shake her. And the way he doted on Little Qi was the same as how he doted on Mu Qiqi. That person was right for his daughter. This was a conversation in secret between the father and daughter of the Sheng family. Chapter 1033. The next day in class. He Yanji and Little Seven acted as if nothing had happened. It was as if the incident at the billiard hall had never happened. One slept as usual and the other packed up her stationery. After noon, the new transfer student sat in the front row with a lunchbox in her hand. Then she reached behind and poked He Yanji's shoulder. Yanji, I made a lunchbox for you myself. He Yanji, Little Seven watched the show. Yanji, take a look. You'll definitely like it. He Yanji, Little Seven curled her lips and continued to watch the show. And Ruoli did not give up and continued to poke He Yanji's back. Finally, she ignited his anger, so he stood up irritably and looked at her. Give it to me, and Ruoli was very surprised and quickly handed over her satisfactory work. However, in the next second, the lunchbox was sent to the back row. He Yanji even threatened others. Eat it clean. If you don't, I'll beat you up. The little boy held the lunchbox and quickly opened it and took a big bite. Satisfied? That's what I made for you. And Ruoli was very disappointed. Do you really need me to make it so clear? He Yanji rubbed his hair and looked at her impatiently. I like to chase wild girls. It's best if they're flat-chested and cold. They like to choke people and dare to ride on my motorcycle. If they have the guts to step on my back, I'll call them queen. I don't like cheap pursuits. I like people to train me. A woman like you can't satisfy me at all. Do you understand? Flat-chested, frigid. Little Seven immediately rolled her eyes. Your whole family is flat-chested. After hearing He Yanji's request, the other party immediately vowed, I can learn. He Yanji was unmoved. He even revealed a playful expression. Then he tilted his head and said to Xing Qingwen, slap me. Little Seven had to satisfy such a request. Therefore, she immediately raised her hand and slapped him without hesitation. Of course, she couldn't slap a man's face, so her palm landed on He Yanji's neck. The surrounding people were instantly stunned. Perhaps only Little Seven would dare to treat He Yanji like this. Do you think you can learn this? Let me tell you, the more she hits me, the more excited I get. I'm that kind of pervert. Go home and rest. After saying that, Hiyenji lay down again and continued to sleep. And Ruoli looked at Hiyenji, then at little Chi. His gaze kept wandering between the two of them. However, little Seven acted as if nothing had happened and shrugged. Why are you looking at me? He asked for it. I like him. How could I hit my lover? Little Chi took a long breath. Classmate, I hit him. I haven't complained that my hands hurt yet. And Ruoli felt very hurt. She returned to her seat, feeling wronged. It had not been easy for her to convince her parents to transfer to this school. She had thought that she would be able to get close to them, but she had not expected that she would still be looked down upon. Is it wrong to like someone and want to follow them? Little Chi shook her head. She really could not understand such infatuation. However, after class, Hiyenji suddenly grabbed little Chi's right palm under the table and gently rubbed it a few times. She was indeed a masochist. Although she did not hit him hard, it was just the sound. Just as school was about to end, Hiyenji suddenly wrote this on the draft paper. Wait for me at the back of the mountain after class. Bring your language homework today. Cough cough. After little Chi read it, she almost bit her tongue. Was this person addicted to adultery? Chapter 1034. For 2 days in a row, Hiyenji and little Chi didn't go to night self-study. When the old witch saw this, she sighed. Hiyenji was first and little Chi was last. The two of them were not to be trifled with. In any case, she didn't expect little Chi to really improve. That child didn't have the slightest bit of initiative, so she didn't care too much about the two of them. After nightfall, they went to the mountain behind the school. There was clearly a protective fence on it, but Hiyenji went up and little Chi actually went up as well. When little Chi was halfway up the mountain with her school bag in hand, she saw Hiyenji sitting on an empty rock. He just leaned back with his arm propped up as he looked at the brightly lit school. He was slightly lost in thought. The night wind lifted the stray hair on his forehead, and he looked a little noble. You're really here. There's no one around. Hiyenji heard the noise and tilted his head to look at little Chi. A faint smile appeared on his lips. Little Chi threw her school bag in front of him and was a little unhappy. What can you bring me to play here? Kiss. Hiyenji said as he raised his head. Little Chi slapped him. Be serious. Hiyenji grabbed little Chi and pulled her to sit down beside him. Then he wrapped his arms around her and took out her language homework from her school bag. God knows why I gave up my beautiful nightlife to teach you homework here. You don't want to? Little Chi leaned against Hiyenji and frowned. At this distance I'm willing. When the two of them faced each other, they could see the size and color of each other's pupils. However, little Chi didn't refuse. Although her heart was a little fast, it was precisely because of this that she wanted to play with Hiyenji. She wanted to know what the different life that her father was talking about was. Perhaps it was because she was a little lost in thought. Hiyenji smiled and said, If you look at me so seriously, I won't be able to help it. I want to kiss you. Little Chi immediately covered her mouth and said, My dad said that there are some things that can only be done at the right age. After Hiyenji heard this, he rubbed little Chi's head and smiled. Your dad is right, but how old do you think you can kiss? At least 16. Do you think I'm a god? I can endure it for so long, Hiyenji muttered. Then he opened the homework. Why don't you like writing essays? What's there to write? Little Chi couldn't understand. Don't you have anything to share with others? After saying that, Hiyenji secretly kissed little Chi's face. For example, don't you feel honored to be kissed by me? Hiyenji, who all the girls in the school ignored, kissed you. Little Chi took the opportunity to kiss him back. What about you? How do you feel now? Hiyenji froze. After a while, he took the initiative to move away from little Chi. You're a devil. Bad students are afraid of being kissed. This is your first time, right? Surprisingly, Hiyenji did not refute. Can't bad students save their first kiss for someone important? Hiyenji asked very seriously. Then he suddenly asked little Chi, You only approached me because you found it fresh, right? Mishing. Actually, you're worse than me. After little Chi heard this, she finally felt that there was something wrong with his words. She immediately asked, What about you? Why are you willing to stay with me? Chapter 1035. It's fun. Hiyenji leaned back with his arm, but he stretched his head forward. I really want to see you tortured by your homework. Little Chi slapped a workbook over. You haven't told me what you can bring me to play tonight. You'll know later. After saying that, Hiyenji smiled evilly. Then he took out his phone, turned on the flashlight and sketched out the key points for little Chi. I'll give you a question first. No matter what, little Chi felt that he was not serious. This person had a lot of bad intentions and was always playing with her. If I really get into the top 10, is there any ultimate gift? Little Chi immediately asked when she saw that he had sketched out the key points. What do you want? My body? That's a rare treasure. Yenji raised his head and asked. Be serious. Little Chi immediately snorted. When the time comes, I'll teach you an exciting, thrilling, and unforgettable game. I guarantee you'll like it. How about it? Yenji made his conditions. What good will it do you if I get into the top 10? You're working so hard. I already said that I have to raise my own wife, Yenji said matter-of-factly. Yenji said matter-of-factly. Then he returned the textbook with the key points to little Chi. Go memorize it. Little Chi looked at Yenji in confusion. This person was really unpredictable. He was naturally bad, but he was full of bottom line for her. He liked to tease her, but he also liked to help her. He was really a contradiction. Just as the two of them were exchanging textbooks, a slightly plump security guard with a flashlight caught up to them while whistling. What are you doing here? Little Chi was shocked. Yenji, on the other hand, was used to holding little Chi's hand. Run. Do you want to be caught and given a big demerit in front of the whole school? Is this the thrilling excitement you were talking about? Little Chi couldn't help but look back as Yenji pulled her. She saw two security guards chasing after them. I like to see Miss Jiao panic in my arms. After saying that, Yenji jumped out of the fence with little Chi. Stop, which class are you from? How dare you date here? When I catch you, I'll definitely expel you. Hold it right there. Students nowadays are getting bolder and bolder. In fact, both of them were squeezed into the gap between the two walls. Yenji supported himself with his arm and covered little Chi's mouth. He was afraid that her breathing would attract the two old things. It wasn't until the footsteps of the two security guards were far away that he let go of little Chi and smiled. Don't be nervous, they've left. Little Chi immediately kicked him. Try taking advantage of me again. Yenji took the kick and grabbed little Chi's wrist. Then he pulled her into his arms and hugged her tightly. This is what you call taking advantage of my stupid miss. Little Chi's face immediately turned red. Let go. Since you want to play with me, you won't be able to go back to your peaceful life, Xing Qingwan. With that, Yenji finally let go of Xing Qingwan. Little Chi was slightly stunned because she felt the warmth that Yenji had left behind. Soon, Yenji disappeared into the small crack, leaving little Chi standing alone in the crack, lost in thought. Could this be what Dad meant by a different life? Subconsciously, little Chi touched the position of her heart. Bang bang bang, her heart was beating fast. Because there was no one else as dangerous as Yenji. Chapter 1036. Late at night by the sea. Auntie Hong tidied up the house and shouted towards the pavilion by the sea, Young master, it's time to eat. Yenji was sitting on a rock by the sea. When he heard the shout, he turned his head. Got it? Why have you been home so late in the past 2 days? Your grandmother is asking. Auntie Hong took a coat for him. Are you with that little girl from before? Yenji nodded as he walked back. I'm with her. I've never seen you look like this when you mention a little girl. It seems like you really like her, Auntie Hong said with a smile. Young master, I know that all these years you seem to be doing whatever you want outside and keep making it look like you're in society. In fact, you just want to prevent second uncle from coming back to fight for Sir and Madam's inheritance. Does that little girl know about this? Yenji shook his head. There's no need to drag innocent people into this. It was only at this time that Yenji could take off his armor in front of his family. He abandoned his fierceness and looked very gentle. That child is the child of a rich family? Auntie Hong asked tentatively. Yes, she has a bodyguard. This was also the reason why Yenji indulged himself time and time again. Because even if someone dared to touch him, no one would dare to touch little Chi. Bring her home to play some other day? It's up to her, Yenji said lightly. He had clearly not expressed anything seriously to little Chi because he had his concerns. However, in his heart, he truly treated little Chi as his little girlfriend. So I look at you. You always have to carefully protect the things you like. I'm used to it. Yenji's expression was still very indifferent. Only when he thought of little Chi panicking in his arms would he smile. A cute little wife, wasn't she? Late at night, little Chi was doing her homework under the night light. This shocked Mu Chi-Chi, who had returned home, so much that her jaw almost dropped. Didn't we agree that my child doesn't need to study at night? Little Chi immediately covered her homework and looked at Mu Chi with some resentment. Mom, do you want me to be like you, not even knowing how to write a love letter? Yo, who do you fancy? Mu Chi sat beside her daughter and secretly looked at her language textbook. She found that there was another kind of handwriting besides her daughter's dog-crawling handwriting. I'm about to take the exam. Don't disturb me. Little Chi quickly covered her textbook. Look at how you're trying to cover it up. It's exactly the same as when I fell in love with your dad. Your mom knows the feeling of having a crush the best. Little Chi froze. Usually, she could always cover up her thoughts in front of Mu Chi, but she had forgotten that her mother was also very shrewd. The reason why Mu Chi did not care was only because Master Xiao had intervened, but it did not mean that she did not know anything. I won't object if you really fall in love, but you can't do what you shouldn't do, understand? Mu Chi hugged her daughter's head and kissed it. Don't make me worry. Little Chi immediately softened. Mom, I know what I'm doing. Mu Chi nodded and suddenly got up from the sofa. Her tone was a little regretful. But I really don't believe that with my genes suppressing you, you can write any shocking essay. Little Chi was speechless. She couldn't blame society for being unlucky. She could only blame her mother's genes for being useless. Chapter 1037. Soon Jianchuan High School welcomed the midterm exam. However, before the exam started, He Yanji was still sleeping soundly on the table. No one knew that He Yanji had used all kinds of methods to give Little Chi all kinds of tutoring. This was because the two of them had almost no interaction in the past half a month. Not only that, but they did not even have classes during the evening self-study session. Through this mutual tutoring session, I've seen many students in the class improve rapidly. Of course, that's except for a few. As she said this, the old witch subconsciously glanced in the direction of Little Chi and He Yanji. I hope that everyone can get good results in this midterm exam. As for a few people, I don't have any hopes. I'm prepared to be at the bottom. Little Chi couldn't be bothered with the old witch. Before the exam, she poked He Yanji's shoulder. When are you going to fulfill your promise to me? He Yanji thought for a moment and supported his chin with his palm. He looked at Little Chi cynically. You can't wait to be alone with me? Be serious. Little Chi leaned against his arm with her elbow. On the day the exam results come out, He Yanji answered her with a serious expression. It's a deal. The next day, the midterm exam was held in the middle school. As someone who had to hand in her papers early every time, this time was no exception. However, just as she walked out of the classroom, she saw He Yanji walking out of another classroom. He was still handsome and cool, looking as if he didn't want to talk to anyone. Soon he brushed past Little Chi. Little Chi took out her phone and sent He Yanji a text message. See you tonight? Tonight. I'm going to see another girl, He Yanji replied quickly. Little Chi looked at He Yanji's back and frowned without saying anything. She couldn't understand this man. This was the second mystery in her life. The first was her father and the second was He Yanji. He was always near and far, making it hard for people to figure him out. Little Chi felt uncomfortable, but she didn't know that the feeling of inexplicable anger when she thought of He Yanji was called jealousy. On the second day after the exam, He Yanji disappeared. He didn't even come to class. The school had another rumor about him. This time it wasn't about fighting. It was just that they saw him take a girl to the hospital. No one dared to mention the obscure part. After all, He Yanji had warned them seriously. No one dared to provoke such a dangerous person. Little Chi held her phone and did not take the initiative to contact him. It was not until 3 days after He Yanji disappeared that he sent her a text message. After school on the mountain behind the school. I want to see my wife. Who cares about you? After school, Little Chi got into her family's limousine. However, throughout the entire process, Little Chi was restless. Miss, what happened? Cheng Hui saw that she wanted to say something but hesitated, so he quickly asked, Did that brat He Yanji make you angry? Uncle Hui, let's turn around and go to school. Little Chi suddenly changed her mind. Although Cheng Hui didn't understand, he still brought Little Chi back to school. At that moment, the sky was already dark. When Little Chi climbed up the back mountain, the entire night sky was already revealed. He Yanji, with a face full of injuries, was sitting on a white rock. When he saw Little Chi appear, he immediately smiled. I knew you couldn't let go of me. I saw you get into the car from here. Another fight? Little Chi crossed her arms and looked at him calmly. He Yanji couldn't stand her coldness, so he grabbed her arm and pulled her into his arms. Little girl, are you made of ice? Chapter 1038. The person who disappeared without a word was me? Little Chi struggled to shake off He Yenji's hand. This time He Yenji did not hold her hand. He directly pressed Little Chi's head down and let her lean against his chest. Don't move. Do you think I'm very fun? Little Chi suddenly pushed He Yenji away. You can disappear whenever you want and you can see me whenever you want? He Yenji's eyes suddenly widened. After a while he suddenly laughed. Xiaowan, do you care about me a lot? Who cares about you? I have a reason to fight, but even when I'm fighting I'm still thinking about you. He Yenji held Little Chi's chin and explained seriously, the first thing I did after the fight, I came to look for you. Bah. Little Chi snorted loudly. What proper reason can there be for a fight? Besides, don't you have my phone number? Don't you know how to send a text message or make a call? You disappeared for a few days. Who knows if you're alive or dead? You have a lot of resentment. He Yenji smiled in satisfaction and then lay on the ground. It feels good to have someone worry about me. He Yenji, I know you're playing with me and so am I. Once you lose the novelty, I don't want to play with you anymore. After saying that, Little Chi turned around. She admitted that she had said it too harshly, but she was really angry. She did not know what this was. However, He Yenji suddenly stood up and grabbed her wrist. I promise to tell you wherever I go, but I can't promise that I won't fight. After Little Chi heard this, half of her anger subsided, but she did not turn around. I'll tell you the reason for the fight, but not now. Because I have my reasons. Can you understand? Yenji, what exactly are we doing? Little Chi was a little confused. They were not like classmates and they were not like lovers. It was strange. It seems that you want to control me. He Yenji returned to his cynical attitude. Don't worry, I'll control you. The results will be out tomorrow. You can't go back on your words. Also, although you're the first, you can't skip class so often. You're the one who said it, so you still have to abide by it. Don't make things meaningless. When we graduate, I'll be the only one left. Perhaps even Little Chi herself did not realize how much she sounded like a girlfriend. I know, my wife. He Yenji reached out and rubbed Little Chi's hair. Girls shouldn't be angry. Go and take a look at your injuries. Little Chi waved his hand away and stood up on her own. Got it. He's really hard to coax. If you're not easy to coax, then don't. After saying that, Little Chi carried her school bag and went down the mountain. He Yenji looked at Little Chi's back as she left and smiled helplessly. Then he covered his heart and called his brother. He had to go to the hospital this time. People in the underworld didn't care about your background, but they valued your loyalty. Otherwise, why would others stand up for you when you were in trouble? He Yenji was guarding the inheritance. Outside, there was a second uncle who was eyeing him covetously. If he hadn't gotten into a fight and let his second uncle know that he had no bottom line, he and his grandmother would have been eaten alive by his second uncle long ago. And the reason why he was safe and sound with his grandmother was all because of his fists. At the age of 13, this was the only way he could think of to protect his family, and that was to become a bully. Chapter 1039. That night, He Yenji was lying in the hospital. His brother outside was puzzled. Where did you go after the fight? If you had gone to the hospital earlier, you wouldn't have suffered so much. Who knows where I went? He Yenji clutched his chest and blinked at the other party. He was eager to go home just to relieve his woman's uneasiness. Are you okay being alone in the hospital? Do you want me to find a girl to take care of you? He Yenji shook his head. No need. If the little girl found out, what would happen? Then I won't care about you. Just stay in the hospital by yourself. After saying that, his companion went to clean up his wounds. He Yenji lay on the hospital bed. All he could think of was Little Chi's little face. His parents' genes were really good. She was now a little beauty who was good at seducing people's souls and causing him to go insane. As he thought about it, He Yenji felt sleepy. However, a message from Little Chi made him perk up again. Have you treated the wound? Why don't you do it yourself? He Yenji supported his head with one hand. Suddenly, he felt that the wound was not so difficult to bear. At home? Yes, he's lying in bed. Little Chi did not ask any more questions because after He Yenji left, she had asked Cheng Hui to follow He Yenji. He was clearly in the hospital now. However, Little Chi did not expose him. She only replied, "Go to sleep." "Miss you, aren't you going up?" Cheng Hui followed behind Little Chi and asked. They were already downstairs of the hospital. "No, let's go back." It seemed that after the fight, the first thing this person did was to look for her. Little Chi's anger subsided and she completely lost her temper. The next morning little Chi entered the classroom and saw He Yanji, who was covered in injuries, sleeping soundly on the table. Last night Ching Hui had asked the doctor about it. If it were an adult, He Yanji would have to lie in bed for at least a week with the injuries on his body. Could it be that he wanted to keep his promise with her? Thinking of this, little Chi took out a medicine bottle from her school bag and placed it beside her stationery box. She did not say who she was going to give it to. She just muttered, "You only know how to show off." He Yanji did not move, but the corners of his mouth curled into a slight smile. After the class bell rang, he slowly propped himself up and said, "I'll check your results today. You don't have to worry. How are you going to bring me to play exciting games in your current state?" Little Chi glared at him. "Even if I can't move my hands and feet, I can still make you feel good." He Yanji whispered into Little Chi's ear. "Little Chi, damn it, getting so close." Very quickly the old witch entered the classroom with the report card. Surprisingly, her expression wasn't as strict as it used to be. "Ahem, the results of this midterm exam have actually exceeded my expectations, especially for a few students." When the old witch said this, she subconsciously looked at Little Chi's position. When the test paper came out, no one believed it. The teacher even thought that Little Chi had plagiarized. However, when they saw how she solved the question, they all agreed that she had answered it seriously. "Next, I'll announce the results of the exam. Yenji, full marks, fully deserving of first place. I'll be happier if there are fewer fights. Second place." The teacher looked around and then announced very seriously, "Xing Qingwan." Hearing Little Chi's name, everyone revealed expressions of disbelief. How was this possible? Did she plagiarize? She was the last in the last monthly exam. Chapter 1040. Many students looked at him with astonished gazes. This was too unbelievable. Was this cheating? How was it possible to become the first in such a short period of time? I know what you're all thinking, but the teachers have already verified it. She took the exam herself. The old witch dispelled everyone's concerns. Although it's a little unbelievable, Xing Qingwan didn't cheat. Little Chi rolled her eyes. Did she need it? But I think she just wasn't serious in the past. After hearing the old witch's words, He Yanji secretly grabbed Little Chi's palm and said, "You're working so hard just to be alone with me?" Could Little Chi say that she didn't intend to work so hard? She just wanted to try and see how far she could go if she took the exam seriously. "Wait for me at the back door after school." Little Chi nodded slightly and broke free from He Yanji's hot palm. However, the sudden change from the last to the first in line made the whole class look at her differently. Some were jealous. Who doesn't know that she's the young lady of the Sheng family? What kind of cheating artifact can't she get? Some were puzzled. Who has she been pretending for such a long time? Why did she suddenly stop pretending? Some were amused. Rich people can buy anything to play with. Isn't it all about money? Even the few girls who often talked to Little Chi on weekdays were eccentric after class and hugged their small groups. This was because no one associated He Yanji with Little Chi. Therefore, no one dared to speak ill of Little Chi in front of He Yanji. When Little Chi was no longer in her seat, they would curse her to their heart's content. Especially the boys and girls in the front row. They were originally the second and third in the class, but they were suddenly squeezed out by Little Chi. They were extremely unhappy. What a scheming B*TC. Since she's pretending, why not pretend to the end? She stole my second place and I'll be beaten up when I go home. That's right. Rich people are really annoying. He Yanji was lying on the table when he heard these words. He suddenly stood up and kicked the chairs of the two of them. He was furious. Are you done? Everyone was shocked and looked at He Yanji in fear. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly. However, He Yanji went straight to their desks and sat on them. He said to the boy first, "If you can't win, then you can't win. Can't you afford to lose? And you 2 days ago you just reached behind to borrow money and now you know that rich people hate you?" The girl immediately blushed. Seeing this, He Yanji stood up and said to the whole class, "All of you listen up. If anyone dares to talk about the results in my ear again, I'll stuff the test paper into his mouth and let him experience what school violence is." For a moment, the classroom was silent. He Yanji was satisfied. Only then did he sit back down and lean on the table. Little Chi came back from the bathroom and saw that the whole class was abnormally quiet. At this moment, He Yanji finally understood why Little Chi had to pretend that her results were not good and deliberately take the last place. The human heart was such a wonderful thing. Soon it was time for school to end. He Yanji had enough sleep. He picked up his school bag and got up. At this time, many girls in the class fearlessly handed over plasters and medicine bottles. And Ruoli even chased after him with the medicine box. Yenji, this time Yenji did not hesitate. He directly snatched the medicine box and threw it into the trash can. Stop harassing me. I can't be bothered to deal with you. Chapter 1041. This time Ruoli was not scared away. Instead, she stood in front of Yenji and said firmly, I can become the kind of girl you like. That's even worse. There's a saying that you should know. It's called imitating others and making a fool of yourself. After saying that, Yenji lowered his head and threw all the things on the table into the trash can. However, he put the medicine beside Little Chi's stationery box into his school bag and left the classroom with quick steps. Little Chi secretly curled her lips. She watched the whole thing and packed her school bag as if nothing had happened. However, she did not expect Ruoli to turn around and point at Little Chi. Why did he accept the medicine bottle you gave him? After Little Chi heard this, she rolled her eyes. Are you sure you saw it clearly? I saw it clearly. I swear. And Ruoli was so aggrieved that she started crying. He put the medicine bottle you brought in his jacket pocket. Please, I put it on my desk. I didn't intend to give it to him. Little Chi carried her school bag on her shoulder. It's a must-have for me to practice Sanda. Do you want to try? And Ruoli was stunned because Yenji had indeed taken the medicine bottle from Little Chi's desk. If there's nothing else, can you make way? Little Chi looked a little impatient. And Ruoli felt embarrassed enough. She covered her face and ran out of the classroom. Little Chi was a little speechless. She shook her head, looked at the time and quickly left the classroom. However, because she was in a hurry, she did not hear the discussion behind her. It's all because she's lucky to be sitting next to Yenji. I really want to find someone to teach Xing Qingwan a lesson. I hate looking at her face. By the way, I know a few hooligans. Little Chi quickly rushed to the back door of the school. At this time, Yenji was sitting on the motorcycle with his helmet on. He looked very handsome. Get on. I'll take you somewhere. Little Chi threw her school bag to him and quickly walked over, directly getting on his motorcycle. Yenji immediately sped up and brought Little Chi to his secret holy land. Little Chi saw him enter a small forest and immediately felt a little nervous. Why did you bring me here? Yenji stopped the motorcycle and immediately smiled. I told you to call for help, but no one answered. Do you want to deepen your dark circles? Little Chi raised her fist and threatened. Alright, I won't tease you anymore. Usually when I'm in a bad mood, I come here to play this exciting game. It's a mountain cross-country. My sweet Miss Sheng, do you dare to play? But I don't have a motorcycle. Little Chi looked around. There was no one here, only she and Yenji. What are you thinking? Today I'll show you how to ride a motorcycle. With that, Yenji gestured to his back seat. Get on. Little Chi didn't move. She was worried. What? You don't dare. Little Chi was agitated and immediately stepped into Yenji's back seat. Yenji put on his helmet and smiled. Hold on tight. If someone falls later, I won't be responsible. Little Chi subconsciously tilted her body and reached out to hug Yenji's waist. She didn't expect him to have muscles at the age of 13 or 14. Thinking about it, it was also because of the frequent fights. Let's go. Little Chi looked fearless, but in fact, if she really encountered such a thrilling and exciting thing, she would still scream. Yenji's speed was very fast, and the downhill road was almost all curves. Little Chi could only hug Yenji's waist tightly. At this moment, she didn't dare to think too much. Even when they reached the foot of the mountain and the motorcycle had stopped, Little Chi didn't dare to let go. When Yenji saw this, he couldn't help but ask with a chuckle, How long are you going to hug me for? Chapter 1042. Little Chi quickly let go and said with some resentment, You're the most annoying, don't you like it? Yenji couldn't help but tilt his head back and smile. It's your first time, so it's normal for you to be afraid. When you learn how to play in the future, you'll definitely be addicted to this game. Little Chi relaxed and sat on the motorcycle, swinging her legs. It's dark. Do you want to go to my house for dinner? Yenji pointed at the house not far away. Right there. Who's in your house? Me, Grandma, Auntie Hong, the auntie you met last time. Yenji put on his helmet again and started the motorcycle. I'll send you home at 9 o'clock tonight. Little Chi didn't refuse, but her gaze once again fell on Yenji's waist. Now that they were on flat ground, did she still need to hug Yenji? Perhaps he was deliberately teasing Little Chi, but Yenji deliberately made a sharp turn. Little Chi immediately hugged his waist and pressed her face against his waist. You did it on purpose. If you're more self-conscious, I won't need to play tricks on you. He Yanji, who was riding in front, revealed a confident smile. Soon, the two of them returned to the small house by the sea. However, He Yanji pushed gently and saw that the iron door of his house was open. Therefore, he instantly put away his playful expression and became serious and nervous. Little Chi also saw that the yard was unusual because the flowers and plants were everywhere. He Yanji was worried about his grandmother, so he ran straight into the house. He saw Auntie Hong sitting on the sofa, slightly injured. Yanji, your grandmother is fine. It was obvious that she was seeking revenge. Xing Qingwan, go home immediately. He Yanji turned his head to look at Little Chi with a serious expression that had never been seen before. Come to class tomorrow. Little Chi didn't pester him and directly called Cheng Hui. It was a matter of a man's dignity, and Little Chi actually understood it very well. He was clearly only a 13-year-old boy, but he had lived a daunting life. He Yanji held her palm and nodded. Be careful on the road. Soon Cheng Hui drove over to pick her up. Little Chi didn't hesitate and immediately left the small courtyard. However, along the way Little Chi didn't say a word. Miss, did that brat make you unhappy again? Uncle Hui, if I say that I can help He Yanji, he will definitely think that I'm humiliating him, right? Little Chi did not answer but asked instead. Her delicate brows were furrowed, and she looked especially like a little old woman. Men really don't like it when women interfere in their affairs. That's related to a man's dignity. Cheng Hui answered truthfully, men are born to shoulder things. Look at Master Xiao. But I'll be worried. Other than worry, there were other voices. There was no future between her and He Yanji. He Yanji was like the wind that could disappear at any time. Perhaps he knew this himself, so he never told Ming Qi to be his little girlfriend. The future? Little Qi was very confused. Why was she thinking so far away? Could it be that liking someone would last a lifetime? Inside the hut, He Yanji and Auntie Hong were packing their things. At this moment, Auntie Hong said from behind him, Yanji, maybe we should move again. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. He Yanji half squatted on the ground, his mood very low. In the future, such a thing will never happen again. You're only 13 years old. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Walk the path of a normal person. Only then will your grandmother be at ease. In the darkness, He Yanji's expression was slightly self-deprecating. But there are more and more things I want to protect. Chapter 1043. After returning home, Little Chi lay on the bed, but she couldn't fall asleep. Her mind was filled with the image of He Yanji asking her to leave. Did she leave too decisively? Thinking of this, Little Chi took out her phone and sent He Yanji a text message. Is everything okay at home? Unexpectedly, He Yanji replied in a moment and he was as sloppy as ever. Can I interpret it as you missing me? I'm not joking. He Yanji called in the next second. I'm not joking either. At this moment, I know that you miss me and I feel much better. If you can give me a kiss and a hug, I'll be in a great mood. Little Chi, that meant that she was fine, although she knew that she couldn't hear the truth from He Yanji's mouth. Are you going to school tomorrow? Yes, I have to see you, He Yanji said matter-of-factly. Medicine. Remember to apply it. It's very effective. My mother made it. After He Yanji heard this, he took out a small medicine bottle from his pocket and sniffed it. This smell is the same as the fragrance on your body. This way won't I be tainted by your smell? Little Chi ignored his teasing and just hung up the phone. Go to sleep. See you tomorrow. Okay, go to sleep, Princess Sheng. Recently, He Yanji had been very keen on giving Little Chi all kinds of nicknames such as Miss Stupid and Princess Sheng, but none of them sounded as good as when he called her his wife. Little Chi put down her phone and felt much more at ease. However, He Yanji wasn't having an easy time. His heart was tormented. He knew that he had made Little Chi very uneasy. However, he couldn't act like a man and make a promise in a dignified manner, because he was afraid. The next day, Little Chi woke up early and arrived at school, but she didn't see any trace of He Yanji. He either didn't come or arrived early and he would definitely keep his promise. But today he went back on his word. Little Chi originally thought that he wouldn't appear, but during the first class, he appeared at the door of the classroom with his school bag. I thought you weren't coming? Of course I have to keep my promise to my wife. I went to deal with some personal matters just now. He Yanji put down his school bag and looked at the seat behind him. In fact, he had left a long time ago. It was just that on the way he heard from a gangster he was familiar with that someone in the school had paid someone to cause trouble for Xing Qingwan. Had they never seen Little Chi's bodyguard before? Or had he not seen the power of the Sheng family? Therefore he spent some time riding his motorcycle to find those gangsters. Other than fighting, what other private matters do you have? Yenji didn't explain. He suddenly leaned on the table and looked at Little Chi ambiguously. Of course there's more. For example, I missed you all night and kissed you in my dream, so I woke up late. Seeing that he was still joking as usual, Little Chi was completely relieved. She didn't seem to know that someone was looking for trouble with her. However, after lunch break, she heard that the girls in the back row were locked in the restroom and given a good beating. Actually, the 3 girls weren't just taught a lesson. They were also given a warning. Someone knows that you want to touch Xing Qingwan, so I'm here to warn you. Behave yourself from now on. If you dare to have such thoughts again, you won't be able to leave the bathroom alive. Do you hear me? Chapter 1044. It was also because of this that the 3 girls ran away when they saw Muchichi. Even if they met in class in the afternoon, they still felt quite guilty. When Little Chi saw this, she couldn't help but become suspicious of this matter. So, after the 3rd class, she caught one of the girls and brought her to the playground to question her. Why do you look like a mouse seeing a cat when you see me? Xing Qingwan, we won't dare to do it again. Don't get people to teach us a lesson, the girl answered, trembling with fear. When Little Chi heard this, she felt that there was a problem, so she asked carefully. We just wanted to find a few people to scare you, but we didn't expect you to find out about it in advance. You even found someone to teach us a lesson. So stop pretending. What kind of good person are you? Now all the girls in the class hate you. After hearing these words, Little Chi finally understood what was going on. It meant that someone wanted to cause trouble for her, but they were intercepted by someone more ruthless and helped her take revenge. Actually, even if she thought about it, she knew who the person who protected her was. So what if I hate you? Little Chi suddenly grabbed the other party's lapel and tugged hard. If you want revenge in the future, just come and find me. If you're not afraid that your family will go bankrupt, just try it. The other party had never thought that Little Chi would be so domineering. She was so scared that she couldn't say a word. Because she knew that to the Sheng family, this was just a matter of moving a finger. Seeing that she was scared, Little Chi let go of her right hand and took 2 steps back. Just go and tell your friends and the so-called girls in the class that I'll fight at any time. After saying that, Little Chi returned to the classroom. At this time, Yenji was sleeping soundly again. Why didn't you tell me? Little Chi also leaned on the table and asked Yenji in a low voice. What? Yenji propped himself up with sleepy eyes. About those gossipy women. Oh, that? I'm protecting my wife. I didn't provoke you, did I? After saying that, Yenji turned around and continued to sleep. I can solve my own problems. In fact, Little Chi just didn't want Yenji to offend more people because of this. If you don't like it, it won't happen again. After all, your Sheng family, no. Little Chi quickly explained, it has nothing to do with my family. It's just, what identity are you using to protect me? This time Yenji did not answer. It could be considered silence. Actually, you don't know how long you can stay in school, right? Or perhaps, very soon you will move to another school. At that time, what will I be? Yenji could not answer these questions. That was right. At that time, as soon as they separated, the 2 of them would quickly become strangers. So, don't cause so much trouble for me. After saying this, Little Chi lowered her head. But at this moment, Yenji suddenly raised his head. Even so, I still like to do that. Let's not see each other this afternoon. You're annoying me now and I'm busy moving. Little Chi didn't say anything. After class, Yenji took his bag and quickly disappeared from Little Chi's sight. Little Chi looked at his back view and felt a little sour in her heart. This was also a feeling she had never experienced before. It made her very uncomfortable, but there was nothing she could do. However, there was a voice in her heart telling her that she didn't want to see Yenji leave just like that, so the next second she packed her things and chased after him. Then she saw Yenji leaning against the motorcycle at the back door of the school, waiting for her with a helmet in his hand. Chapter 1045. I thought you wouldn't chase after me. Then why wait? Little Chi touched the shoulder strap of her school bag nervously and asked. I still want to wait and see. Yenji handed her the helmet. For you? Didn't you say you're moving? I'll go with you. If you don't come home every day, won't my father-in-law and mother-in-law look for you? Yenji saw that she was walking towards his motorcycle, and his tone became relaxed. He couldn't stop teasing Little Chi. They know. Little Chi's face was a little red. If you don't leave now, others will see you. So, my father-in-law and mother-in-law already know of my existence. Yenji continued to smile and took the initiative to turn back. He grabbed Little Chi's hand and placed it on his waist. Hold on tight. I won't be responsible if you fall. Little Chi didn't resist. She just hugged him and naturally pressed her face against Yenji's back. Soon, the two of them arrived at the apartment that Yenji was going to move to. Little Chi looked at the surroundings and asked Yenji, "Did you move here on purpose?" Because this place was only a few kilometers away from the Banyan courtyard, Little Chi would even pass by Yenji's house on her way home. I found it by accident. The surroundings are safe and the facilities are complete. Grandma can find a companion to chat with when she moves in. It's definitely not because of you. Yenji answered with a smile on his lips. However, he said that because he had considered that he could see Little Chi often. The bitterness in his heart after school suddenly turned into sweetness at this moment. Little Chi got off his motorcycle and said to him, "I haven't seen your grandma yet. Auntie Hong will take grandma back for a few days. I'll let you two meet after things are settled here." Yenji parked his motorcycle, but he didn't go straight into the house. Instead, he took Little Chi around. "What are you looking at?" "I'm checking the surrounding environment and terrain to see if it's safe enough." Yenji stopped in his tracks. Then he took out the key from his school bag and opened the door of his new home. "Feel free to look around." Little Chi pushed open the door and entered, but in the next second Yenji grabbed her arm and pressed her against the wall. Then he moved closer to her. "Do you know that I can do whatever I want to you now? Then you have to ask my fist first." Little Chi didn't panic, nor would she admit that when he approached her, her heart beat faster. "I really want to kiss you." Yenji touched the corner of his mouth and let go of Little Chi. "The house is a little messy. Help me clean it up?" "Yes." Little Chi would never admit that she had been seduced by Yenji's action just now. "Why is your face so red? It's not summer now." "You know the answer." Little Chi glared at him and began to tour the small villa. "Little Chi," he said. Little Chi." However, she rolled up her sleeves and began to work. Little, T. He single quote she, T little. Chi, T, cheat. She, T. You're clearly thinking that it's a miracle that a young lady like me who doesn't do housework, knows how to do housework. Seeing Little Chi's hair tied up in a bun, Yenji gently touched it. "Tie it up like this more often in the future. I like it." Who could stand such an ambiguous atmosphere? Little Chi quickly turned her head and looked out of the window. "It's getting dark. I'm leaving, I'll send you up." Yenji smiled happily. The little girl was clearly beginning to fall in love. Chapter 1046. In the next few days, Little Chi helped with the moving. Of course, during school, the two of them pretended not to know each other and had nothing to do with each other. Yenji's drawer was still full of love letters as always. However, every day these love letters would be thrown into the trash can at the back of the classroom. Soon, the school was going to hold the spring sports meet. Yenji, who was famous for fighting, was, of course, signed up for several sports events by the teacher. The intention was to let him spend his extra energy on things that were worth it. Yenji did not object. After all, the only things worth looking forward to in school were physical education and sports. Little Chi also participated in two events. One was the 400-meter race and the other was the 1,500-meter run. 1,500. Hearing the teacher confirm the project, Little Chi frowned. She promised the sports committee that she would participate in two events, but she didn't say that she would participate in the 1,500-meter race. "The girls in our class are all quite weak. It all depends on Xing Qingwan's performance this time." What delicate. Scheming against people behind their backs was one trick after another. Little Chi rolled her eyes. It wasn't that she didn't want to participate, but her good friend was in the next few days. "If you don't want to run, just give up." Yenji saw her doubts and whispered in her ear. "Since I've agreed, there's no reason for me to go back on my word." Little Chi answered Yenji calmly, "The few behind me are waiting to see me make a fool of myself every day. It's good to let them see my true strength." What a little girl who doesn't admit defeat. "Watch my competition tomorrow morning?" Yenji quietly wrote a note to Little Chi. "Who wants to look at you?" Little Chi snorted. Even so, she still wanted to see what advantage Yenji had on the sports field with his fighting skills. "Since you're coming, prepare a towel and mineral water for me." Little Chi was speechless. Wouldn't that be equivalent to publicizing their ambiguous relationship? Don't tell me you want to see me drink water prepared by someone else? Of course not. Little Chi glared at him with a warning gesture. Although the two of them had not confirmed their relationship, they had already restrained each other according to the standards of a boyfriend and girlfriend. Of course, she had to be responsible for He Yenji's things. Got it. When you compete, I will also go and cheer for you. After saying that, He Yenji picked up his school bag. I'm going to pick up Grandma. I'll let you meet after the sports meet. Ha. It's rare for you to be so serious. However, just as Little Chi finished speaking, she saw He Yenji smile. After all, an ugly daughter-in-law will have to meet her in-laws sooner or later. Little Chi, F***CKU, you're the ugly one. Your entire neighborhood is ugly. Even so, Little Chi still felt the sweetness in her heart. This was the part of love that people yearned for and were infatuated with. After He Yenji left, many girls in the class began to understand He Yenji's competition, especially in Ruoli. Since she had come for He Yenji, how could she give up so easily? Therefore, tomorrow she would definitely go to the stadium to cheer for He Yenji and prepare sports drinks and towels for him. When Little Chi saw this, she shook her head. What was the point of this? He Yenji already had someone. Even if he was evil, he was the only one who could make her heart beat faster. Therefore, no matter who came to compete, she would not let them. Chapter 1047. The next day, Jianchuan High School's spring sports meet opened on the sports field. The events to be held in the morning were the men's and women's 100-meter, 200-meter, and 400-meter relay. Because of He Yenji's participation, this year's sports field was especially lively. Little Chi was wearing a white sportswear and holding a mineral water bottle as she walked in the audience area, searching for He Yenji. Actually, there was no need to be deliberate. After all, wherever the screams were the loudest, He Yenji would be there. He Yenji was wearing a black and white sportswear. Standing in the crowd, he was so dazzling and eye-catching. Little Chi wanted to go up and observe, but there was no place for her around He Yenji. Therefore, she sat on a stool at the side, lost in thought. Soon, a warm body walked to her side and took the towel and mineral water from her neck. Why are you in a daze? Little Chi came back to her senses and saw He Yenji sweating profusely. Behind him was a group of girls. Junior, drink my, Junior, use my towel. He Yenji impatiently pushed away the enthusiastic contributions. Then he put his arm around Little Chi's shoulder and said, my desk mate is here. You guys can rest. Everyone looked at Little Chi with resentment. What a goddamn luck. I saw He Yenji use Xing Qingwan's towel and drink her water. I can't help it. They're desk mates. He Yenji winked at Little Chi. The little girl was really not proactive at all. Let's go. It's time for lunch. Are you done? Little Chi stood up and asked. What else do you think? He Yenji walked in front of Little Chi, sweating profusely. Little Chi walked behind him with a towel in her hand. This was the first time the two of them were outside the classroom, one in front and the other behind. He Yenji's excuse was that they were desk mates. He only drank from desk mates and he only played with desk mates because he had a serious obsession with cleanliness. This was also the first time Little Chi was eating in the school cafeteria. She looked a little restless because opposite her was He Yenji's enlarged handsome face. Your hubby is too handsome. Are you nervous? He Yenji saw that she was not eating seriously and quickly teased her. Do I want to become public enemy number one? Don't worry. In their eyes, I don't treat you like a girl. He Yenji placed the soup in front of Little Chi. I have a match in the afternoon. If you get distracted again, I have plenty of ways to teach you a lesson. After Little Chi heard this, she flicked his head. Who taught who? What a little tigress. He Yenji put down the bowl and chopsticks. This is your first time eating with your husband, right? Aren't you secretly delighted? Can't you be quiet when you're eating? Little Chi picked up the soup and took a sip. Only then did she realize that after sharing a bottle of water, she and He Yenji shared a bowl of soup. So, she suddenly blushed because she knew that this was called indirect kissing. You're blushing more and more often. He Yenji took advantage of the fact that no one was around to tuck Little Chi's hair. You're so obedient. I like it the most when you tie your hair like this. Little Chi, the number of times this person was flirting with her was also increasing. Furthermore, it did not matter where it was. Soon the two of them finished lunch. Originally, Little Chi was worried that the people outside would spread rumors, but she never expected that those people would mistake Little Chi for He Yenji's brother, based on his actions. Chapter 1048. Of course He Yenji did this on purpose. In this way he could openly order his concubine around. For example, "Little brother Sheng, I'm thirsty. Little brother Sheng, I want a towel." He Yanji acted as if he was squeezing little Qi dry, but in fact he brought little Qi with him, giving her the best view of his competition. Although the girls were envious of little Qi, they treated it as He Yanji enslaving her. Although she could be with He Yanji at any time, she was not He Yanji's girlfriend, so they did not pay too much attention to her. Seeing this, little Qi heaved a sigh of relief. It was not that she was afraid, but that even they had not given each other a definite answer, so there was no need to make it known to the world. For the whole day, little Qi was ordered around by He Yanji whenever he participated in the competition. Every time a girl squeezed little Qi out of the crowd, He Yanji would deliberately pull her and put her in the most eye-catching position. "I only have this little brother. I can't lose him." Little Qi really wanted to bite him. He Yanji regretted it a little. Why didn't he use this move earlier? This way the two of them wouldn't have to avoid arousing suspicion. Although He Yanji looked like he deserved a beating, seeing his smug smile, little Qi felt a sense of warmth from the bottom of her heart. And with someone at the level of a big brother, the first battle was, of course, beautiful and smooth. Because of this, He Yanji's fans went from being of an age group to being from the entire school. This was because no young man would be so good-looking and have a noble air about him. Most importantly, he was almost omnipotent and a ruffian. Such a boy would have the confidence to be proud no matter where he went. After the day of competition, He Yanji took a shower and came out of the school apartment. At this moment, little Qi was standing under a tree, surrounded by a group of girls. "Junior, just tell me, how can I talk to He Yanji?" "Junior, you must have some ultimate move to make He Yanji ignore everyone but you." Little Qi had a headache. At this moment, He Yanji appeared behind everyone. With the freshness of a bath, he pulled little Qi out of the crowd. "There's no ultimate move. It's just that she's the closest to me. Let's go, little brother. It's time to go home." Under the setting sun, the silhouettes of the two were lengthened. Little Qi followed behind He Yanji. In front of her was a boy who was the center of attention. "What are you daydreaming about?" He Yanji quickly turned around when he saw that his wife wasn't following him. "Are you so handsome that you don't dare to move? Who wants to be your lackey?" Little Qi settled the score. She hadn't forgotten that she had been ordered around by this bastard all afternoon. "I'll be your lackey? Brother Sheng, shall we go? I'm hungry." Little Qi immediately laughed. "You're treating me." "Got it, my little wife?" He Yanji whispered into little Qi's ear. Little Qi immediately looked around nervously. After realizing that she had been teased, she directly raised her fist and punched He Yanji. He Yanji had long known that there was no one else on this road, so he directly held little Qi's hand. "Are you really the young lady of the Sheng family? You're so calculative. I've discovered another weakness of my little wife." Little Qi buried her head the entire time. She didn't want to listen to his nagging at all, okay? This person was getting bolder and bolder. Not far away, Cheng Hui, who was following the two of them, looked at their hands holding each other's. He immediately felt numb and uncomfortable. Was Master Xiao really not going to discipline him? Chapter 1049. After school that day, the two of them returned to He Yanji's house hand in hand. When He Yanji's grandmother saw this, her eyes immediately lit up. "Oh, this little cutie is so beautiful. This is Grandma's granddaughter-in-law." Little Qi was stunned by this sudden enthusiasm, but He Yanji said, "Go and chat with my grandmother." "Your grandmother is also so open-minded? Don't you know whose grandmother she is?" He Yanji smiled and turned to the kitchen to help Auntie Hong. "Little girl, don't be afraid. Come, Grandma will show you the photos of Yanji when he was young." Then little Qi was dragged into the study by Grandma He. There was a photo album between their knees. Grandma He explained as she flipped through the pages with little Qi. Little Qi looked at the photo of He Yanji and his parents and immediately knew that He Yanji had really received a strict aristocratic education when he was young. It turned out that he had British blood, and judging from his mother's identity, she should be either rich or noble. Therefore, no matter how ruffian he was, she could still see the nobility in him. This was given by the family environment. "Yanji is very capable. He knows everything. It's a pity that my parents left too early. Otherwise, my Yanji would be able to live a good life now." As Grandma He spoke, her tears fell on the photo album. "Little girl, you're the first girl Yanji brought home. Yanji must like you very much. You have to come and play with Grandma often. Grandma likes you too." After saying that, Grandma He took out a box from the drawer. Inside was a bracelet with a unique pattern. She directly gave it to little Qi. This is Grandma's greeting gift. You must accept it. Grandma? This. Little Chi was instantly petrified. Was this a marriage? Grandma told you to keep it, so just keep it. Yenji suddenly appeared at the bedroom door and had already changed into fresh home clothes. This person, no matter when I look at him, is really handsome to the point of dropping dregs. But, it's not expensive. This is Grandma's gift. Little Chi did not struggle anymore because Grandma had already put the bracelet on her hand while the two of them were talking. It was a rose gold bracelet that looked a little old. The bracelet was engraved with classical patterns. It was very elegant. Grandma, time to eat. When Grandma saw that Little Chi had accepted the bracelet, she immediately pulled Little Chi's hand and said, "My little cutie, after dinner, Grandma will tell you about the jokes Yenji made when he was young." Alright. In the time it took for a meal, Little Chi had forgotten about the bracelet because Grandma was also a very interesting person. From her exquisite clothes, it could be seen that when Grandma was young, she must have been a very beautiful socialite. At 9 o'clock, Yenji brought Little Chi out of Grandma's room. It's time to go home. So close. What's the matter? Little Chi was very good at pleasing the old man. Then will you sleep with me tonight? Yenji whispered into Little Chi's ear. With Yenji's words, Little Chi reluctantly said goodbye to Grandma I really lost you. I can see that my grandma really likes you. On the way back to the city, Yenji couldn't help but say to Little Chi, "It's been many years since I've seen Grandma talk so much to someone other than me. Even Andy Hong can't do it. Is it really okay to give me the bracelet? Why do I feel like I'm selling myself?" Chapter 1050. You're already my wife. Isn't it too late to say this? Yenji sent Little Chi out of the banyan courtyard and gently stroked her head. Sleep early. There's a competition tomorrow. Don't order me around tomorrow. Little Chi said angrily and entered the Xing family's house with her school bag on her back. Behind the door, Xing Xiao sat on the sofa. It was as if he had X-ray eyes and could see what had just happened outside the door. You're back? Dad, did that kid send you back? Xing Xiao asked his daughter as he put down the document. Okay. Little Chi nodded. You promised that you wouldn't object to us dating. Xing Xiao did not say anything. He just looked at the bracelet on her wrist and casually said, "Go up and have a good rest. I'll wait for your mother to get off work." Got it, Dad. Little Chi immediately carried her school bag and walked upstairs to the bedroom. However, if Master Xiao was not mistaken, the bracelet on Little Chi's hand should have been worn by the Princess of England. After all, Huang Yao had been in business for so many years. It was impossible for Xing Xiao not to recognize such a small thing. He didn't expect that such a precious thing would fall into his daughter's hands. He did not have any objections to Yenji now because Master Zhao's every move was calculated in his heart. As long as that brat made his daughter sad and angry, his limbs were broken. Of course, as long as it didn't cross the line, he could turn a blind eye to it. When Mu Chichi returned home, Little Chi was already asleep. After all, she had been running on the field for the whole day. Late at night, Mu Chichi habitually went to her daughter's room to check on her. She also found the bracelet. Therefore, after returning to her room, she asked Xing Xiao, "Xiao Xiao, did you give her the thing she's wearing?" "Your daughter's puppy Love gave it to her," Xing Xiao replied, sitting on the soft couch in his black pajamas. "This isn't an ordinary item, right? What's going on?" Mu Chichi leaned against her husband. "What kind of boy does our daughter like?" Xing Xiao said nothing. He simply turned around and took out a document from the drawer, handing it to Mu Chichi. Mu Chichi was shocked. "This boy is so handsome." "Xing Xiao, isn't your daughter just like you? How could she take a liking to him if he didn't even look this good?" "So you're a descendant of the British royal family. No wonder you didn't object." "I'm not against it. It's not because of that. The He family is in a state of disunity. I'm not against it because your daughter likes it." Xing Xiao took the information from Mu Chichi's hands. "She's only 12 soon. It's precisely because she's about to enter the rebellious age that she's full of curiosity about these things. Why don't you let her experience it generously, guide her correctly, and tell her what she can and can't do openly? According to your daughter's personality, it'll be easier for her to accept it and there won't be any estrangement between us," Xing Xiao explained patiently. "The daughter can be soothed, but what about the boy? I'm testing him, but for now he's more interesting than Tang Xiaobao." Master Xiao finally gave Yenji an evaluation. After hearing that, Mu Chichi could not wait to meet her daughter's sweetheart. In fact, she did not object to her daughter dating, because she herself had a crush on someone. She was just afraid that her daughter would not meet someone who doted on her like Master Xiao. Since her husband said it was a test, she didn't need to worry too much. However, he still had to find an opportunity to meet this person. Chapter 1051. The next morning, the events at school included the finals of the men's track and field events and the preliminary of the women's track and field events. Little Chi only had one 400-meter race in the morning. Before the competition began, He Yanji found her in the crowd. Seeing that her hands were bare, he frowned and asked, "Where's the bracelet?" "Take it off. I'll wear it when I exercise." "It's easy to damage it," Little Chi said as she raised her wrist. "Got it? Now that the competition is over, I'll wear it back immediately," He Yanji ordered domineeringly. "So what? No one knows whose family it belongs to." Little Chi snorted and didn't let him have his way. "You want me to kiss you in public to announce our relationship?" "What's our relationship?" Little Chi immediately asked He Yanji confidently. This bastard, he had never confessed to her, nor did he pursue her. At most, they were in an ambiguous relationship. They couldn't even be considered boyfriend and girlfriend. He Yanji did not say anything, as if he was thinking about something. Just as he was about to answer, he heard someone call Little Chi's name from behind. "Lil Wan." Little Chi looked past He Yanji and saw Feng Shanshan and Mu Qiqi waving at her from the audience seats with Tang Xiaobao. "My mom is here." Little Chi immediately muttered to He Yanji. He Yanji subconsciously turned around and met Mu Qiqi's gaze calmly. Because they were not far away and only He Yanji was by Little Chi's side, Mu Qiqi's gaze was scrutinizing. Ordinary children would be timid in such a situation, but He Yanji was not. Magnanimous and magnanimous. "My mom is probably here to see you?" Little Chi gloated. He Yanji turned around and looked at Little Chi seriously. "Compete well. I'll tell you the answer to your question after the competition is over." "Is it about the relationship between the two of them?" Little Chi paused for a second and nodded. "Don't be shameless." With that, He Yanji retreated to the side and quickly disappeared into the crowd of students. At that moment, Tang Xiaobao walked up and asked Little Chi, "Who was that boy just now?" "Oh my Xiaobao, why are you free today?" Little Chi quickly played dumb. "Your mom dragged my mom over to cheer for you. Look at your body. Do you think you can get first place today?" Tang Xiaobao and Mi Chi were childhood sweethearts. Their families had always been close, so they had even taken a bath together. Of course, that was when they were young. However, this kind of natural intimacy was something that He Yanji could not compare to. Therefore, he stood in the crowd and watched Little Chi and Tang Xiaobao exchange pleasantries. He was silently jealous. In addition, Tang Xiaobao's appearance and outstanding temperament attracted the attention of the girls in the school. Why were all the boys around Xing Qingwan so outstanding? Little Chi quickly noticed the commotion around her and said to Tang Xiaobao, "Don't harm me. I can imagine how many people will ask me for your contact information after you leave. Then you can compare." Tang Xiaobao also patted Little Chi's head. However, he was as close as an older brother. But even so, He Yanji still felt uncomfortable. It was extremely uncomfortable. In fact, he should have long understood that Little Chi came from a famous family and there was no lack of outstanding people around her. This was the first time He Yanji felt jealous. He wished he could remove Tang Xiaobao's claw. Chapter 1052. In the audience, Feng Shanshan leaned against Mu Qiqi's elbow. "It's that boy just now, right? I have to admit he's a match for my son." Mu Qiqi recalled He Yanji's handsome face. That child seemed to have a lot in common with Master Zhao's personality. Therefore, she suddenly understood why her daughter would fall in love at such a young age. "You have good taste," Mu Qiqi concluded with 4 words. Of course, she could not praise him. After all, she had only seen him and did not know his character. "I heard that he's a bully in school. There are a lot of rumors and he often fights. So Little Chi actually likes this." Feng Shanshan found it unbelievable because it was Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi's child. However, she also felt that it was only natural because Mu Qiqi had liked that kind of Xing Xiao back then. They're different. Mu Qiqi was referring to Xing Xiao and He Yanji. Master Xiao used to be a fox. But He Yanji in front of her was a wolf dog. A fox was cunning and a wolf dog was ferocious. Not far from the audience, Little Chi had already started the 400-meter race. No one knew Little Chi's skills, so naturally no one knew what level she was at. Therefore, when she started running, she shocked everyone. On the 4 tracks, she was the only one who looked as light as a swallow. Without any effort, she left her opponent far behind. There was no doubt about this first place. Of course, there was still the semifinals and the finals. After the race, little Chi wanted to go to her mother's side, but Yenji came out of nowhere and threw a towel on her head. He also placed a bottle of mineral water in her hand. Little Chi wanted to say something to him, but when she saw Tang Xiaobao approaching, Yenji quickly disappeared into the crowd. Was this person throwing a tantrum? Tang Xiaobao looked at the towel on little Chi's head and smiled mockingly. Aren't you afraid that your mother will see you being so intimate? She knows. Little Chi's cheeks were slightly red. Since you like handsome guys, why don't you like me? Tang Xiaobao couldn't help but ask. You guys are different, little Chi answered softly as she drank the water. What's different? Tang Xiaobao wanted to hear her explanation. Perhaps he was deliberately provoking Yenji and pretending to be closer to little Chi. It's different everywhere. Little Chi wiped her face with a towel. Then put the towel away. You Shungs are all so avant-garde. You're only 12 years old and you already have a boyfriend. You'll be crying in the future. He's not. Little Chi explained subconsciously. The two of them had not officially confirmed it yet. Speaking of which, Yenji had clearly said that he would give her an answer after the competition. However, after delivering the towels and water, there was no sign of them. Who cares if he is or not? In short, don't come crying to me in the future, Tang Xiaobao said as he pinched little Chi's nose. Got it? In little Chi's heart, Tang Xiaobao was like an older brother. His future was limitless. He inherited Tang Yan's steadiness and self-discipline in everything. This was also one of the reasons why little Chi found him boring. She enjoyed a free and unfettered life. Excitement, adventure, and excitement. Only Yenji could give her these things. Go, it's the semi-finals. Tang Xiaobao heard the referee read little Chi's name and pushed her. Compete well. Don't embarrass me. Even if I want to lose face, I won't lose face for your family. Little Chi snorted. Chapter 1053. During little Chi's semi-finals, Tang Xiaobao deliberately waited at the finish line. He wanted to see if Yenji would not dare to go forward. If it was really someone like Uncle Snake, he did not mind taking the initiative to help the Sheng family clean up. Little Chi's performance on the track was the same as the previous race. Getting first place was still easy. However, during the process, little Chi noticed that her abdomen was stuffy and uncomfortable. Could it be that her good friend was coming now? She supported herself to finish the race and then stood at the finish line to breathe. Tang Xiaobao immediately walked over and handed her the rest of the mineral water. Drink it. Little Chi shook her head. She felt awkward because she did not dare to move. What's wrong? Tang Xiaobao did not understand. Little Chi was especially embarrassed. Just as she was about to call Mu Chichi, Yenji walked out of the crowd. He walked directly to little Chi's side, took off his coat, and tied it around little Chi's waist. Let's go. Little Chi was a little surprised. How did Yenji know? Moreover, was it really okay for him to ignore Tang Xiaobao like this? Yenji, my pants are dirty. Yenji said to her in a low voice, I won't be participating in tomorrow's finals. There's still the 1,500-meter run on the last day. Little Chi let him hold her hand. The two of them were about to walk out of the crowd when Tang Xiaobao caught up to them and stopped them. Stop. What right do you have to take little Chi away in front of her family? Yenji deliberately held little Chi's hand tighter. How can someone who can't even see her predicament be called family? Besides, you're your family and I'm my lover. There's no conflict. Young hero, you're so bold. Little Chi was instantly bewitched. Tang Xiaobao looked at Yenji, and Yenji responded with a fierce expression. If you want to fight, let's meet another day. I won't back down. That's what I've been waiting for. Yenji smiled faintly and held little Chi's hand as he walked to the locker room in the stadium. Little Chi followed Yenji. Her heart beat faster and the corners of her mouth curled up. When she reached the locker room, she heard him ask, Do you have any clothes to change into? Yes, little Chi quickly said. Go, I'll guard you outside. When you come out, we'll have a good talk. Okay. Little Chi nodded. Then she felt Yenji let go of her hand. At that moment, she only felt disappointed and lonely. She was clearly in front of him, but he didn't know how to be satisfied. Little Chi quickly entered the changing room and checked. Sure enough, she had dirted her pants. She did not know if anyone else had seen it. She didn't know why Yenji's eyes were so sharp. He could see her embarrassment at a glance. Just as little Chi was changing her pants, Mu Chichi called her. Where are you? Mom, take Tang Xiaobao home with Andy phone. My good friend is here. He's changing his pants. Little Chi held her phone and said in a low voice, if you want to see He Yanji, let's do it next time. I don't want Tang Xiaobao to get involved. When Mu Chichi heard that, she knew that she was pressuring her daughter, so she said, all right. We'll talk about it when we get home tonight. I don't want to tell you guys when I get home. Can't a girl have her own worries? But daughter, that kid is indeed quite handsome. After hearing this, Little Chi quickly hung up the phone. She really worried a lot. Outside the door, He Yanji leaned against the door and smiled. Sure enough, his mother-in-law was here to see him. Chapter 1054. Soon Little Chi changed into a new pair of pants and walked out of the changing room. At this time He Yanji was leaning against the stone pillar, lost in thought. Let's go. Little Chi's face was slightly red. She didn't expect that a boy like him would discover such a thing. He Yanji tilted his head to look at Little Chi and immediately teased, why are you blushing? This kind of thing is always a little embarrassing. What's there to be embarrassed about in front of your husband? After saying that, He Yanji held Little Chi's hand and took advantage of the chaos of the sports meet to climb the mountain behind the school. Standing halfway up the mountain, He Yanji held Little Chi's hand, his palms slightly sweating. Is that kid today very familiar with you? Tang Xiaobao? He's only a few days older than me. We grew up together. Little Chi answered casually because her gaze was on the two of them holding hands. You like him? After hearing He Yanji's words, Little Chi could feel the jealousy in his tone, so she laughed. He's just a playmate. We walk different lives. I don't like people who abide by the rules. Little Chi explained as she looked at the lively field at the foot of the mountain. Didn't you say that you have something to say to me? What do you want to say? In the future, don't play with him. He Yanji turned around and lifted Little Chi's chin. In the future you have to play with me. So overbearing? Little Chi was dissatisfied. I can play with whoever I want. Xing Qingwan, in the future you'll be mine alone. You have to listen to me, understand? As he said this, He Yanji reached out and touched Little Chi's head. I'll spoil you so that you won't lose to the status of a princess at home. Can you be more straightforward? Why are you being so straightforward? Understand it yourself. After saying that, He Yanji leaned over and gently kissed Little Chi on the lips. This can be considered a seal. When you're 16, I won't just kiss you like this. Little Chi's face instantly turned red. In the future, be my girlfriend and wife. I'll take good care of you. At this moment, Little Chi's heart was shrouded in something called happiness. At the same time she was worried. Therefore, she took the initiative to bury her head in He Yanji's chest and asked in a muffled voice, then will you still fight? You have a girlfriend. You have to hit less. He Yanji curled his lips. Little girl, did you like me a long time ago? What about you? Compared to the usual generous Little Chi, the little girl at this moment was so shy that it made people's hearts ache. Of course, He Yanji had only ever seen Little Chi like this in front of him, so his smile was very satisfied. The first time I saw this little girl, I wanted to conquer and tease her. I wanted to see your reaction. He Yanji reached out and hugged Little Chi. In the future, I will do my best to protect you. Little Chi would probably never forget this day for the rest of her life. The two of them confirmed their relationship on the mountain behind the school. Although the feelings of a 12-year-old seemed so fragile, Little Chi believed that at least at this moment, she was experiencing the feelings of her life. By the way, why did that kid call you Little Chi? What kind of nickname was that? Didn't he know? My mother's name is Mu Chichi, so I'm naturally Little Chi. It's mainly because my name is too tongue-twisting, so it's not easy to call me by a nickname. So, the whole family calls me Little Chi, Little Chi explained. No, little one is very smooth. From now on, I'll be the only one calling you that. Do you remember? Before going down the mountain, He Yanji seriously instructed Little Chi. That was his exclusive name. No one was allowed to snatch it. Chapter 1055. But I still want to participate in tomorrow's finals, Little Chi said to He Yanji in a low voice. I don't like to give up halfway. Are you feeling uncomfortable? He Yanji asked. 400 meters, so it's okay. Got it? He Yanji did not object. In any case, he could just serve her with some red date tea. In Little Chi's heart, she wished that she hadn't left school because she wanted to spend more time with He Yanji. Go home and have a good rest today. I won't teach you how to ride a motorcycle. We'll talk about it when you're more comfortable. After the two of them returned to the classroom, He Yanji naturally carried Little Chi's school bag on his back. Little Chi nodded and did not object. The two of them quickly walked up to Cheng Hui, and Yenji handed the school bag directly to Cheng Hui. Go back and be good, okay? Her voice was so sexy. Was she trying to charm people to death? Little Chi quickly got into her car. After Cheng Hui drove away, she covered her flushed cheeks. She was really becoming less and less like herself. Yenji watched Little Chi leave before putting his hand into his trouser pocket. However, just as he was about to go to the shed to find his motorcycle, a tall figure blocked his way. Didn't you say we were going to fight? I happen to have time now. Yenji was very surprised because Tang Xiaobao had actually waited until they were out of school. Coincidentally, he was also very jealous of Little Chi and Tang Xiaobao growing up together, so the two of them arranged to meet in an open space outside the school. Tang Xiaobao had been taught by Tang Yan since he was young. His skills were definitely not for show, but he lived a very disciplined life, so he had never fought in actual combat. As for Yenji, fighting was a walk in the park. Although he hadn't learned it properly, his skills were definitely not just for show. The two of them threw away their school bags and started fighting wildly. Little Chi is the treasure of the Sheng family. Who do you think you are? How dare you covet her? Tang Xiaobao's strength was astonishing. He pressed Yenji to the ground and strangled his neck. You're only 12 or 13 years old. What do you know about feelings now? Not only do I dare to think, but I also dare to do it. Xiaowan is my girlfriend. It has nothing to do with any of you. Yenji suddenly erupted in resistance. The strength of his fists was astonishing. Tang Xiaobao felt the pain and his entire face scrunched up. If you dare to bully Little Chi, I won't forgive you. You don't need to worry about my woman. The two boys swung their fists at each other, fighting to their heart's content. However, because Yenji was injured, Tang Xiaobao was able to press him to the ground. However, Yenji also noticed it, so he did not attack ruthlessly. It doesn't count this time. Let's continue after you've recovered. Am I afraid of you? Yenji snorted coldly. I'm warning you, don't tell Little Chi about the fight. I was afraid that you would be a busybody. Yenji did not back down at all. Tang Xiaobao admired his determination. He was indeed a good opponent. Tang Xiaobao picked up the bag on the ground and made a provocative gesture at Yenji. Yenji was not to be outdone. However, he had just promised the little lass not to fight, and in just a short 2 hours he had already broken his promise. However, her childhood sweetheart was also a little interesting. Soon Little Chi returned home. The first thing she did was to send Yenji a text message. Are you home? Yenji looked around, propped himself up and answered, I'm looking for a car. Little girl, are you checking on me now? Can't I? Chapter 1056. Of course it's your turn. Yenji stood up with difficulty and carried his school bag on his back. Another fight? Little Chi keenly sensed Yenji's rapid breathing. I resolved a small conflict. Yenji could not bear to lie to her. He could not say it if she did not ask, but if she asked he could not answer. I'll come down to see you tonight. After saying that, Little Chi hung up the phone. Worry for nothing. Yenji put away his phone and found his motorcycle. His tone was obviously very disdainful, but the corners of his mouth could not help but curl up. After dinner, Little Chi took a bunch of medicine from home and prepared to go out. However, she was stopped by Mu Chichi. Where are you going? Go down and take a look at Yenji. Little Chi answered truthfully. Little Chi, tell Mom the truth. Do you really like that kid? Mu Chichi was still very worried. Yes. Little Chi nodded and didn't deny it. I know I'm still too young. Maybe you'll think that I'm just playing around. I don't know what feelings are, but Mommy, even so, I want to experience my life on my own. I won't regret any decision I make. I don't want to live under your protection. Mu Chichi took a deep breath. She knew that she couldn't win an argument against her daughter. If it were her, she might not be able to do better. Master Xiao was right about one thing. 12 or 13 years old was the age of enlightenment. Rather than letting her suppress it, it was better to let her experience it. Only in this way could he guide her properly and let her understand true feelings. Mommy doesn't want to object, but I have to remind you, got it? I know how to protect myself. Little Chi blushed. She knew what her mother was worried about. The forbidden fruit could not be eaten secretly. At the very least, it had to be at the right age. That's good. Come back soon. In fact, Little Chi was really grateful to her family. She was very grateful that she had such open-minded parents, so that she would not suffer many setbacks at the beginning of her relationship. She liked Yenji and kept thinking about that bad guy in her heart. She had no other choice. At 8:15 p.m., little Chi arrived at He Yenji's house. Auntie Hong brought Grandma He to visit the neighbor's house, so at this moment, He Yenji was the only one left at home. Little Chi knocked on the door and saw that He Yenji's upper body was bare, looking sleepy. "Why aren't you wearing clothes?" He Yenji's mischievous nature began to play tricks again. He directly dragged little Chi into the room and pressed her against the wall. "You knew it was dangerous. Why did you come down?" Little Chi glared at him and then saw the injuries on his body. "Didn't I say it was just a small scratch? Who knew that little puppy was so strong?" He Yenji scoffed. "Sit down," little Chi ordered. "I'll apply the medicine for you." "Got it. My little girlfriend has gone crazy. I can't afford to offend her." Yenji sat down on the chair. Then he saw little Chi take out medicine from the medicine box and lay on his shoulder to apply it. "Father-in-law, mother-in-law, do they know you're coming down?" "Yes, I told my mom." Little Chi nodded. "They really believe in my self-control." Yenji smiled bitterly. Especially when he saw little Chi's face through the mirror, he wanted nothing more than to steal her. "It's all yours but not now," little Chi told Yenji seriously. "Who did you fight with? He's injured to this extent." At this moment, Yenji once again answered carelessly, "Your childhood friend." Chapter 1057. Who asked that kid to not have a girlfriend to love him, but he did. Soon the medicine was applied. Yenji touched little Chi's head and pressed her head against his chest. "Now, I can only do this to satisfy my craving." Little Chi let him hold her. When Grandma He and Auntie Hong returned, she greeted them and left Yenji's house. Little girls are really lovable. Auntie Hong also liked little Chi. As a young lady, she was not delicate at all. She was beautiful and considerate. Anyone who saw her would like her. "Auntie Hong, I asked her to be my girlfriend." Yenji was wearing a shirt and could not hide the excitement in his tone. "Seriously, girlfriend? But she's still so young. Don't her parents object?" Auntie Hong also had concerns. After all, which parent would allow their child to fall in love at such a young age? Her parents are different. Yenji followed little Chi's route home and could not help but look. "As long as you're happy, Yenji. I know that you're a good child who knows his limits." "Limits?" Yenji took a deep breath because when he heard these two words he felt a little numb. Perhaps his father-in-law was also testing his limits. The next morning, the second day of the sports meet. Little Chi had a 400-meter final. Yenji had promised her yesterday to let her participate, but he did not allow her to show off. During little Chi's competition, Yenji sat in the audience seat the entire time. His gaze followed little Chi as if he was afraid that he would lose her. "Hey, look, who is Junior paying attention to? Which girl is so lucky? She can get his favor?" From time to time, the discussions of 2 or 3 girls could be heard. After Yenji heard this, he frowned and stood up. He took the prepared sugar water to the finish line. Soon little Chi was first. However, after running, she knelt on the ground. Yenji picked her up from the ground and carried her to her seat. "I'm first." Originally, Yenji wanted to get angry, but when he saw the confidence on Xing Qingwan's face, he smiled helplessly. This was the Xing Qingwan he knew. "Drink it." Yenji sat beside her and handed her the sugar water. Little Chi took it and smiled warmly. At that moment, a little fan walked up to little Chi and handed her a love letter. However, Yenji stopped him. "Are you asking for a beating?" "It's none of your business that I'm looking for Sheng Xiao." The little fanboy seemed a little curious. "If you want to die, continue moving forward." Yenji stretched out his leg and blocked the few of them. Little Chi drank the brown sugar water as if nothing had happened, sweeping away all the discomfort in her body. Although those people liked little Chi, they were even more afraid of Yenji. Therefore they did not dare to continue forward. They looked at each other and dispersed. "If you do this, I won't have any friends soon. Why didn't I know that you have friends?" Yenji mocked her. "Sit here and rest well. I'm going to prepare for the competition. You don't have to bring me the towel. I'll pick you up for lunch later." "Got it?" Little Chi nodded. She was really strict. Yenji got up from the chair and rubbed little Chi's head. However, such an intimate action of his attracted the attention of the girl. "The two of them are dating, right? Didn't you see Yenji's doting expression?" Chapter 1058. Because of Yenji's instructions, little Chi did not appear in the crowd. However, even from afar she could hear the loud screams coming from the field. The high jump and long jump had just been carried out. Yenji was in a relaxed state. He had won 2 first places, but because of his all-rounder attitude, he had attracted the attention of all the girls in the school. Even the cold and aloof campus belle was tempted to confess her love to him. Therefore, after Yenji's competition ended, the school belle appeared on the crowded field and personally delivered a sports drink to Yenji. "Student He, I want to invite you for lunch at noon. I wonder if you have the time?" What a beautiful scene. The long-haired school belle had personally delivered the drink. This was equivalent to declaring her love in public. It was really enviable. However, Yenji was completely unmoved. He had no intention of taking the things from the school belle. He just bent down to pick up his towel and replied coldly, I don't want anything to happen between me and the school belle." Yenji rejected the school belle. He actually rejected the school belle directly. Everyone was surprised. Which school belle and the school hunk didn't have some love-hate entanglement? However, Yenji had no intention of doing so at all. He didn't do anything at all. He just grabbed his towel and brushed past the campus belle. Oh my god. Everyone looked at the school belle's embarrassed expression and then looked at Yenji's handsome back. This boy was too arrogant. Tisk, it's just now. Wait a few days and see. Which man can resist the pursuit of a beautiful girl? He doesn't even give the school belle face. He's too good at pretending. Yenji completely ignored what the people behind him said. In any case, he was already used to the commotion. He took the towel and went to the big tree near the locker room. However, he saw little Chi dozing off against the tree trunk. "You're really something." Yenji revealed a doting expression. Then he went forward and shook little Chi awake. "You'll catch a cold if you sleep here. I'll take you to eat. Did you win?" Little Chi followed Yenji's footsteps and stood up. "What do you think? There's no need to ask about such a meaningless thing, right?" Yenji smiled confidently and took the empty bottle from little Chi's hand. "You're quite obedient. You drank it all, so, are you still uncomfortable?" Little Chi shook her head. "My mother is at home and there's a nutritionist. It won't be a big problem." "Are you showing off Miss Jiao's life to me? Didn't you have a childhood like this too?" Little Chi ignored his sour words. "I saw the photos you took in England." The two of them chatted as they walked. Not far away, the girls in the school were already in an uproar when they saw the scene. Yenji was always cold to the school belle, but he could talk and laugh with Sheng Qingwan. After all, Sheng Qingwan was the richest girl in Jianchuan. It was normal for some men to want to be the son-in-law of the dragon. However, Master Xiao of the Sheng family was famous everywhere. How unafraid of death was Yenji? The two of them had lunch in the cafeteria and then went back to the classroom to rest. However, along the way little Chi had heard a lot of rumors. Therefore, after returning to the classroom, she poked Yenji's arm and asked, "The school belle confessed to you? What is this, something worth saying out loud?" Yenji asked little Chi before he lay down to sleep. Then he whispered into little Chi's ear, "What can really make my soul dance is your confession." Chapter 1059. Did anyone say what? Yenji stared at little Chi with interest. "Say that I like to play with rich people? Who am I? Is this the first day they met?" "But I know you're not that kind of person," little Chi blurted out and hurriedly explained for Yenji. "I know you're not." Yenji carefully sized up little Chi's eyes. Then he flicked her head. "I have a notorious reputation. I don't care what others think of me." Little Chi was silent for 2 seconds after hearing Yenji's words. Finally she nodded. "I understand. Let's take a nap. Or do you want to do something with me while everyone is taking a nap?" Looking at Yenji's naked gaze, little Chi quickly lay down on the table. Compared to before, this person was even more unscrupulous in teasing. Yenji looked at his obedient wife with satisfaction and lay down beside her. What school belle? She wasn't the one in his heart. No matter how beautiful she was, it was useless. However, not long after the two of them lay down, little Chi couldn't help but ask Yenji, "Don't you think the school belle is very beautiful?" "I don't think so." "Don't you think it's great to be confessed by the school belle?" "Is it great?" Yenji turned his head and looked at little Chi. He mouthed to her, "The best time in my life is when I kiss you. Aren't you tempted at all?" Little Chi deliberately refused to let him go. "Looks like you want me to announce our relationship in front of the whole class," Tang Wulin said. When little Chi heard this, she quickly grabbed his hand. "Don't do anything rash. Well, you can be more obvious when you're jealous." He Yanji smiled proudly. Am I? Little Chi asked He Yanji with her eyes wide open. After school, I'll prove with all my heart that I only have one wife. Little Chi was speechless. Damn it, he didn't forget to run his mouth at all times. However, the matter of the school bell wasn't over just like that. Perhaps it was because she was confident in her looks that the school bell wasn't willing to be humiliated by He Yanji like this. Therefore she went around asking about He Yanji. No one knew how she found out the address of He Yanji's new home. She actually sent someone to deliver things to his door. Sheng Qingwan was rich, wasn't she? She was also rich and she had a good face and a good figure. She didn't believe that there would be a man who could resist such temptation. The campus bell's battle array was so big that almost everyone in the school knew about it. When He Yanji brought little Chi home, he saw flowers and luxury car keys at home. He smiled playfully. Auntie Hong, how many has this been? If I remember correctly, it should be the 37th. Aunt Hong counted with her fingers and said, Young master, you have Miss Xing now. Restrain yourself. He Yanji shrugged. I didn't do anything. Xiaowan can testify. Then how do you deal with these things? Little Chi raised her head and asked He Yanji. Chapter 1060. Then, I still have a few years to go before I grow up. What are you going to do? He Yanji lifted little Chi's chin and smiled even more unscrupulously. Are you planning to spend the rest of your life with me, little Wan? Are you just playing with me? Little Chi looked at his handsome face dangerously and asked. Of course. He Yanji tapped the tip of her nose. But I want to play with you like this for the rest of my life. Little Chi took the opportunity to wrap her arms around He Yanji's neck and plunged into his embrace. This is the first time I like someone. Don't let me be sad and disappointed. He Yanji gently rubbed her head as if he was silently comforting her. The two of them hugged for a while before letting go of each other. Let's go. I'll send you home. For the past 2 days, He Yanji had sent little Chi outside the banyan courtyard. However, the previous few times, he had been lucky and did not run into anyone from the Shen and Xing families. But today He Yanji was not so lucky. This was because after he put down little Chi, Master Zhao's phantom stopped beside the two of them. Then, Master Zhao rolled down the window and looked at the two of them outside the door with an indifferent expression. Little Chi was shocked and looked at her father. This was because when a normal person saw his gaze, they would most likely be overwhelmed by his aura. She even couldn't bear it and subconsciously wanted to stand in front of He Yanji to help him avoid Master Zhao's gaze. However, He Yanji was not moved at all. He met Xing Zhao's gaze calmly and bowed slightly to signal him. Su Che watched from the front and immediately felt confident. This child had seen the world. He had a noble aura and was bold enough. Master Zhao seemed to be satisfied. He didn't say anything and took the initiative to close the window. Let's go. When little Chi saw that her father had left, she touched her chest and was a little nervous. Then, she turned around to look at He Yanji, only to see that he was calm and composed. There was no trace of panic at all. Won't you be afraid when you see my dad? Why should I be afraid? Just respect him in your heart. After saying this, He Yanji patted little Chi's head. Go home. Little Chi nodded. I'll watch you leave. Are you that reluctant? There's no alley around that I can kiss you in? He Yanji suddenly crossed his arms over his chest, and his expression was frivolous. Of course, I don't mind kissing you on the street, but are you okay with it? We're at the doorstep of the Sheng family. Little Chi instantly glared at him. This person always had a bad mouth. I'm going in. Be careful on the road. He Yanji watched his wife enter the house before getting on his motorcycle and leaving. In the living room, Xing Xiao had just put down his coat. Little Chi couldn't help but feel a little guilty because she didn't want her father to see it. This kind of thing was always a little embarrassing. Dad? Xing Xiao raised his hand and looked at his watch. It was 8:30 p.m. Your homeroom teacher called in the morning and said that you got second place in the midterm exam, so you're not going to be ranked last anymore? Xing Xiao pretended that nothing had happened and diverted his daughter's attention. Let's have a change of taste from time to time. Little Chi sat down beside Xing Xiao, and her nervousness eased a lot. When you go home in the future, don't go to the door. Dad won't say anything to you, but your grandfather might not be able to accept it. If you bump into him, you'll be the one in trouble. After little Chi heard this, she quickly hugged Xing Xiao's arm and rubbed against it. Dad, you love me the most. Look at that kid's performance. Xing Xiao was prepared to give this most difficult task to He Yanji and nurture him from a young age. He was a husband first and then a father. Only Muchichi was his lifelong responsibility. Chapter 1061. The next morning Little Chi sent Hiyenji a text message, but he did not reply. Little Chi arrived at school alone, but she heard all the students talking. Hiyenji had moved all the things that the school bell had sent home to the school and unscrupulously placed them on the playground. The principal rubbed his aching forehead and directly ordered the school's cleaners to return all the valuable items to the school bell's home. Didn't they think they had embarrassed themselves enough? For this reason the school bell once again went to Hiyenji's class. Taking advantage of the fact that the sports meet had not started yet, she blocked Hiyenji in the classroom. At the door were the school bell's two good sisters. They were there to stop the students in the class from entering. Isn't this school bell too overbearing? She likes Hiyenji. Why can't she let us go back to our seats? That's right. What does it have to do with us if she can't catch up to Hiyenji? In the classroom Hiyenji sat calmly in his seat and the school bell stood in front of him. The door and windows of the classroom were filled with his classmates watching the show. You're really arrogant. The school bell lifted her elegant long hair and pursed her lips as she looked at Hiyenji. I've never been rejected by anyone. There's a first time for everything. Hiyenji continued to be poisonous. Why don't you like me? I'm rich and beautiful. How can I not be worthy of you? The school bell continued to make things difficult for Hiyenji. Tell me the reason and I'll let you go. Hiyenji took a deep breath and looked up at the so-called school bell. The reason is, I'm a clean freak. After the school bell heard this, her eyes suddenly widened. Beauty is your capital and enjoyment is your right, but I have the right to refuse, don't I? I don't want the people in the room to be your boyfriends when I take you out. Isn't that cheap? The school bell's face suddenly turned red and then white. Could it be that this reason is not enough? The school bell was angry and had no way to refute him. At this moment she suddenly saw Little Chi at the door. She pointed at Little Chi and asked, What about her? What is she? Hiyenji looked at Little Chi in the crowd, and the corners of his mouth curled into a smile. She's my exclusive, unique, the only creature that can wander around me. I'm too lazy to know your name. Don't touch her. The price is not something you can afford. The school bell glared at Little Chi fiercely, took a deep breath, and finally left Hiyenji's classroom. Don't regret it if you have the guts. In Hiyenji's life, what he had heard the most since he was young was warnings. Therefore, even when facing Master Xiao, his expression did not change. Why would he be afraid of the school bell? Little Chi looked thoughtfully in the direction of the school bell's departure. After he left, she returned to Hiyenji's side. You didn't give her any face at all. The whole school knows about it. If we don't do this, how can we destroy the courage of those little girls? Hiyenji looked at Little Chi in confusion. Hubby, who are you doing this for? Give me some space to perform. It's very boring to finish everything. Little Chi couldn't help but complain. Xiaoan, your attacks are a little too lethal. Take it easy, huh? Hiyenji said with a smile. Then he turned his gaze to the sports committee member, looking like he was settling scores. Who asked you to register Xing Qingwan for the 1,500-meter race? Can you give me a name? Chapter 1062. The sports commissioner was so scared that his forehead was covered in sweat. That, if you don't report it, I'll take it as you? It was Enruoli's suggestion, the sports commissioner immediately replied. It's none of my business. Hiyenji, don't hit me. Hiyenji nodded and turned his gaze away. He didn't look for trouble with the sports commissioner. After Little Chi heard this, she frowned and turned her head again. Why don't you arrange for Enruoli to go up? This has already been reported. I can't make the decision. You have to tell the teacher. Moreover, the competition is starting in the afternoon, the sports commissioner replied with a bitter face. Little Chi smiled faintly and didn't look for trouble with the sports commissioner anymore. Instead, she walked to Enruoli's seat and looked down at the weak girl in the seat. Why did you recommend me to run the 1,500 meters? You said it yourself. You've practiced Sanda, so sports must be your strength. Other than you, no other girl in the class can do this task, Enruoli explained matter-of-factly. That's a good reason. After Little Chi finished speaking, she turned her back to Enruoli. However, the next moment she turned around and grabbed Enruoli's shirt, pulling her closer. Since you like to run so much, go ahead. Anyway, my good friend is here, so you can't run. I'll go and tell the teacher now that you're willing to be a substitute. I don't want to. Enruoli immediately trembled. She was as weak as a lamb. Xing Qingwan, don't bully others just because your family is rich. Oh, so you know that my family is rich. Then you still dare to dig a hole for me behind my back. Obviously you don't care if I take revenge. I don't care why you frame me. I'll only give you two choices. First, be a substitute and run the 1500 meters. Second, disappear completely from Jianchuan High School. And Ruoli didn't want to choose either, so she looked at He Yanji for help. Yanji, please help me say something. Help you say what? Aren't you reaping what you sow? He Yanji replied with a slight smile. I've been sick before. I can't run the 1500 meters at all. I'll die. Then have you ever thought that I'm sick too? Little Chi asked Ruoli seriously. No one can save you this time. Choose. I want a fine teacher. And Ruoli shouted angrily. I won't let you bully people as you please. Then go. In this way, can I take it that you've made the second choice? And Ruoli did not reply. Instead, she ran straight out of the classroom. At this moment, Little Chi asked in front of the whole class, it was a personal grudge between me and Ruoli just now. It's true that I can't participate in today's 1500m due to a special reason. So, if any of you are willing to be a substitute, I'll apply to the teacher right now. Of course, if it wasn't for this special reason, I'll definitely finish the race, regardless of whether I'm framed by those despicable people or not. Let me do it. A short-haired girl wearing glasses in the class stood up and said to Little Chi, that's my strength. I was going to sign up for it anyway. Little Chi walked up to him and nodded. Thank you. This is also my personal honor. While the two of them were talking, and Ruoli had already gone to the office to complain to the old witch. How could the old witch see a student being bullied like this? She immediately returned to the classroom with Ruoli. Xing Qingwan, is this how you bully your classmates? Chapter 1063. Teacher, don't just listen to her side of the story. You should also listen to what others have to say. Isn't that right, sports commissioner? Little Chi looked at the trembling sports commissioner. The little boy was quite frightened. He immediately stood up and answered, Teacher, Xing Qingwan should have been arranged for Xing Qingwan to apply for the 1500 meters, but Ruoli suggested to me that Xing Qingwan knows Sanda and that her physical fitness is very good. She's very suitable for long-distance running, so she asked me to arrange it for Xing Qingwan. I thought it was Xing Qingwan's idea. I didn't expect her to not know it all. I just heard that she's very strong, so I suggested it, and Ruoli explained forcefully. You know me so well? I heard that I'm very strong, so I suggested it to the sports commissioner. Do you know that I have an old illness? Little Chi questioned Ruoli loudly. Everyone in the class knows why you did that. Do you still need to explain? Enough. The old witch pushed the glasses on the bridge of her nose and interrupted them sternly. You guys come with me to the office. Little Chi rolled her eyes. It didn't matter. At most she would just be scolded. She was used to it anyway. On the other hand, Ruoli always looked weak and pitiful. She didn't know who she was pretending for. In the end, the sports commissioner replaced Yan Zhen, and the teacher had no objections. You guys go first. And Ruoli stays. After this matter was cleared up, the old witch still had to continue scolding them about puppy love. Little Chi and the sports commissioner walked out of the teacher's office. Then, before class started, Little Chi took out her phone and dialed Ching Hui's number. Uncle Hui, there's something I need your help with. She had never used her power to bully anyone in her life. This time she gave her first time to Ruoli. The sports commissioner walked beside Little Chi and felt a chill run down his spine. He was glad that Little Chi had not been involved. He was practically kneeling down to thank her. Soon Little Chi returned to her seat. He Yanji saw that she was angry, so he held her hand under the table and smiled. Jealous? I've always had that attitude. Whether it's scolding me or framing me, don't let me see it. Otherwise, I won't be that easy to provoke. Just now you said that you have an old illness. Tell me what's going on? Feeling that He Yanji was squeezing her palm very hard, Little Chi's face immediately turned red. When there's a chance. Fine. I'll patiently wait for my wife's little secret. In the teacher's office, Ruoli was listening to the old witch's earnest lecture. Student, you're still a student now, so you should focus your energy on your studies and not on those boring things. Especially not hurting others. Although Xing Qingwan is mischievous, she has been in my hands for almost a year. Unless someone provoked her, she would not take the initiative to teach them a lesson. You were the one who made the mistake first. I hope you can correct yourself in time. If Little Chi heard the old witch's words, she might jump up. She didn't expect that there would be a day when this old witch would speak up for her. However, Enruoli did not have the chance to correct herself, because little Chi had already said that she would only give her two choices. The first was to be a substitute and the second was to transfer schools. Since the substitute position was taken by someone else, the only thing left was to transfer schools. Chapter 1064. That afternoon, Enruoli's parents personally went to the school to pick her up. They heard that when Enruoli was taken away, she cried and threw a tantrum. She hugged the big tree in the school and did not want to leave at all. Little Chi deeply regretted that she did not see that scene because in the afternoon, she cheered for Yan Zhen on the playground. Just like that, the 3-day sports meet ended successfully. Because of He Yanji's support this year, the class that was originally last in sports could also hold its head high in the grade this time. The old witch's mood improved a lot when she saw this. In order to celebrate our class winning first place in the group this time, we'll organize a class meeting tomorrow night. Those who perform will be rewarded. For students, as long as they didn't go to class, they could do anything. Little Chi was also happy about this, so she turned to look at He Yanji who was lying on the table and asked, "Do you want to perform?" "Tomorrow night, I'm going to accompany Grandma to meet an acquaintance," He Yanji answered in a low voice. "Is that so? You go ahead. I'll play by myself at the class meeting." Little Chi waved her hand to show that she didn't mind. "I know you want to play with me. Another day. I'll make it up to you." "Who cares?" Little Chi snorted and then said to He Yanji, "I don't need you to send me off tonight. I'm going to my great-grandfather's house." This little girl had such a strong desire for revenge. After school in the afternoon, the two of them went their separate ways. However, He Yanji still rode his motorcycle and watched little Chi get into Cheng Hui's car. Only then did he put on his helmet and leave. He didn't know when it started, but it had become his habit to ensure the little girl's safety. Also, what exactly was little Chi's old illness? This also planted a seed of worry in his heart. On the way back, little Chi put down her school bag and praised Cheng Hui. "Uncle Hui, aren't you too fast?" "Miss, I haven't done this yet," Cheng Hui told little Chi truthfully. Cheng Hui told Ming Chi the truth. "Master Xiao asked me to do something else. I haven't had the time." Little Chi was speechless. Then why was Enruoli taken away? Little Chi thought about it and there was only one possibility, and that was He Yanji. Therefore, she sent a message to He Yanji asking, "What exactly happened to Enruoli?" He Yanji stopped his motorcycle and took out his phone. After reading the message, he smiled and replied, "I just called her parents. They used to be old acquaintances. They probably didn't want their daughter to continue to fall, so they took her away." "DSK, then why didn't you tell me?" Little Chi expressed her dissatisfaction. "There's nothing to say," Yanji replied coolly. "Hurry up and go home, little wife. In a few days I'll introduce you to my friends." When little Chi saw the word concubine, she could always think of He Yanji's handsome face. Finally she smiled sweetly. Silently cleaning up the annoying trash for his wife and taking revenge for his wife, he was really as black-bellied as his father at home. "Miss." Cheng Hui was puzzled when he saw little Chi's expression. "It's fine, Uncle Hui. That matter has been settled." Little Chi put away her phone and answered Cheng Hui's doubts. After Cheng Hui heard this, he remained silent. However, he had doubts in his heart. What was the background of that kid? Even Master Xiao didn't ask about the two children. He didn't believe that the kid was just a hooligan. Actually, he was just a hooligan, it was just that he was a noble hooligan with hundreds of millions of assets. Chapter 1065. The next day at school, without Enruoli, the class was as lively as usual. However, in the morning, the class leaders had already finished gathering all the programs for the night. Although Class 3 had always been bad at results, there were quite a number of talented students. Soon, the 15 programs for the night were ready. In addition, at noon, the class leaders began to decorate the classroom. Little Chi thought that tonight's class meeting would be quite interesting. Unfortunately, He Yanji did not participate and even asked for leave from the teacher. "I'm not here at night. Don't secretly miss me." After school in the afternoon, He Yanji packed up his messy school bag while looking at little Chi with pity. "I'll make it up to you in the future." "Who the hell would miss you?" Little Chi replied stubbornly. However, for some reason, when she saw He Yanji carrying his school bag out the door, she quickly felt something called loneliness in her heart. He Yanji carried his school bag and walked out of the classroom as usual. He went to the bathroom on his floor. However, when he was washing his hands, he heard someone mention little Chi's name. Kid, didn't you prepare a love letter for Xing Qingwan? When are you going to send it out? While the class meeting is tonight. Then I wish you a successful confession. He Yenji pricked up his ears. After washing his hands for a long time, he walked out of the bathroom as if nothing had happened. Only when no one was looking would he show a helpless expression. You really make me worry. Little Chi knew nothing about all this and was full of anticipation for the class meeting that night. It was a pity that He Yenji was not there at this time. At 6:50 p.m., Jianchuan Middle School's evening self-study session began. Class 3, where Little Chi was already exuding a strong aura of youth. This was because the originally pale lights in the classroom had now turned into soft, colorful lights. On the blackboards in front and behind the classroom, there were also colorful activity boards. Balloons and ribbons could be seen everywhere. This was simply the standard for school activities. From the looks of it, it was really full of youthful energy. Little Chi followed her classmates to find their seats one after another. Then she saw the host come out to adjust the atmosphere. Because students like to fight and fool around, the program was indeed fun and funny. Soon the class meeting was halfway through. It was past 8:30 p.m. Little Chi was holding her phone and eating snacks. She was thinking about whether she should send He Yenji a text message, but in the darkness, someone secretly tugged at her. Xing Qingwan, someone is looking for you outside. At this time? Little Chi did not know that someone was confessing to her. She put down her snacks and left through the back door because the teacher was not that strict during class activities. However, behind the classroom door, a tall and thin boy saw Little Chi come out and quickly stuffed the gift into her hand. That I've been choosing for a long time. I hope you like it. Little Chi was stunned because she was confused when she encountered such a thing. There's a letter inside. I hope you can read it when you get back. The boy lowered his head and looked at the tip of his toes, appearing to be very unconfident. He was obviously a big boy, but his tone was shy and embarrassed. Little Chi looked at the thing in her hand and was racking her brains to think of a way to refuse. However, a figure suddenly appeared and directly returned the gift in her hand to the boy. His voice was also very cold. She doesn't like people like you. After saying that, He Yenji directly grabbed Little Chi's wrist and pulled her downstairs. Chapter 1066. In the darkness, He Yenji pressed Little Chi against the corner of the classroom building. His dangerous eyes stared straight into her eyes. I just left for a while and you're already restless? What does this have to do with me? I'm still in a daze, Mr. Seven quickly explained. Seeing her talk back, He Yenji pecked her lips. I'm very angry. It's not like I can control what others think. Little Chi suddenly lost her confidence. She was afraid that He Yenji would do something even more out of line. In the future, when someone confesses to you, you have to reject them immediately. Do you understand? He Yenji rubbed Little Chi's lips with the pad of his finger. You have a family. I got it. Take your hand away. Little Chi straightened her body and whispered. What are you nervous about? He Yenji enjoyed her panic and then pulled her into his arms. Develop well. Pervert. Little Chi blushed and leaned into He Yenji's arms nervously. She knew that this was a school and it was easy for others to discover them, but she was greedy for this moment of happiness. Why did you suddenly come back? Didn't you say you had something to do tonight? If I don't come back, what if you run away with someone else? He Yenji held her hand, gently pushed open the window of the primary school classroom, and jumped in with her. Little Chi's heart skipped a beat. This person was really capable of doing anything. However, it had to be said that in that quiet corner, there was only the two of them. This made Little Chi feel much more at ease. We have to go back. The old witch wants to find someone, Little Chi said carefully in a low voice. He Yenji hugged her and did not let go. The corners of his mouth curled up. Let her find. Or do you really want me to let go? Little Chi did not say anything. Of course, she hoped that the two of them could be alone for a little longer. However, after the two of them stayed quietly for a moment, He Yenji suddenly pushed Little Chi and said, Let's go. I'll send you back to the classroom. Didn't you say you weren't going back? He Yenji did not say anything. He left the classroom with Little Chi and closed the doors and windows. Little Chi felt that his unpredictable habits seemed to be acting up again. She always did not know what he was thinking. When they reached the classroom, He Yenji pushed Little Chi up the stairs. Let's go back. Little Chi frowned and felt a strong sense of loss in her heart. However, she did not ask in detail and returned to the classroom from the back door as if nothing had happened. After making sure that no one had noticed, she sent a message to He Yenji. What? Why? When Yenji saw these 3 words, he also wanted to ask himself why. But a moment later, he had a very clear understanding in his mind. This girl was different from all the girls he had ever known. If he wanted a future with little Chi, he had to restrain his frivolous behavior. He didn't want little Chi to follow him to the end. In the past, he clearly wanted to tease her and lead her astray. But now he only hoped that she would become better and better. Because I don't want my wife to get a demerit like me. I'll wait for you at the school gate tonight and send you home. Seeing this answer, little Chi also understood the struggle in his heart. The countless questions and frustrations in his heart had all turned into sweetness and happiness at this moment. Because this gave little Chi an answer. What he cared about was not just the present. What he cared about was their future. This was true liking. Chapter 1067. After returning to the classroom, the tall and thin boy from before moved to little Chi's side again. Was the boy who took you away just now Yenji? Little Chi was stunned for a moment. She realized that the other party might not have seen Yenji's face clearly, so she coughed lightly and explained. Yenji asked for leave, right? He's someone I'm familiar with. When he saw me with a boy, he was afraid that I would be at a disadvantage, so he dragged me out and gave me a good scolding. You better not get close to me. Little brother's temper is too bad. I'm afraid he'll cause trouble for you. The other party was timid to begin with. After being scared like this, he immediately smiled awkwardly and said, I was just joking with you. Don't take it to heart. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine as long as I explain it clearly. Little Chi waved her hand and immediately heaved a sigh of relief. After the class meeting ended, little Chi grabbed her school bag and walked out. Before the others could walk out of the school gate, she had already stepped onto the back seat of Yenji's motorcycle. Yenji looked at her shocking move and quickly asked, Who's chasing you? Aren't we supposed to keep our relationship a secret? If we don't leave now, others will find out. Little Chi quickly said. Think about it. My boyfriend is Yenji. If others find out, it'll be a little troublesome. Yenji saw her muttering and smiled dotingly. There's still half an hour. Shall I take you to eat something delicious? My parents didn't say that I have to go home at 9 o'clock. That's your parents? As your boyfriend, I have the obligation to send you home before 9 o'clock. After Yenji said that, he put on his helmet and took advantage of the fact that there was no one around to carry little Chi through the streets and alleys. Finally, they arrived at the entrance of a snack shop. Is this it? Little Chi got off the car and saw the tattered signboard. She felt a little creepy and felt that this place was selling human flesh. Yenji did not answer her. Instead, he went straight into the dessert shop and took out a dessert. Here. Little Chi held it in her hand and was a little surprised. Such a shabby shop can actually make such a cute shape. This is the first piece of cake I've eaten since I came to Jianchuan. On the day my parents got into an accident, I bought dessert here. From then on, I never knew what dessert tasted like. Yenji explained calmly. There was even a trace of self-deprecation at the corner of his mouth. Because of my gluttony, I avoided the car accident. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Little Chi looked at the dessert in her hand and quickly licked it. Of course I'm lucky. I almost died, so I know that living is the best. Yenji put down the motorcycle, held little Chi's hand, and took her for a walk on the street. Old illness? What happened? When I was 9, I had a serious illness. Little Chi said casually. I went to the operating table and fainted several times. My mother was so scared that she didn't sleep for a few days. However, I don't really remember what caused it. I can't remember. Yenji patted little Chi's head. If you can't remember, then don't think about it. In fact, Yenji knew that little Chi's old illness was at the back of her head. Because every time he touched it, he would feel the existence of that scar. This cake is really delicious. No wonder you loved it when you were young. Little Chi took a bite and couldn't stop. Although her mouth was a little cold, it was very sweet in her mouth and heart. Let's go. I'll send you home. Yenji put away his tender gaze toward little Chi. He put his arm around her shoulder and brought her back to the spot where the motorcycle was parked. The children of rich people were really not 100% happy. For example, he and little Chi. They would give as much as they got. In the darkness, the shadows of the two people were stretched very long. After school tomorrow, I'll take you to meet my friends. Really? Chapter 1068. After returning home, little Chi sat in the study in a daze. Muchichi opened the door and saw her. She sat down on her daughter's desk. Do you want me to take a picture of your current expression? Mom? Little Chi glared at her. Don't laugh at me. So, why were you in a daze just now? Mu Chi got up from the desk, pulled Little Chi to the sofa and asked, what does it feel like to feel heartache? Then tell me first, how do you feel in your heart? Mu Chi said gently to her daughter. A little sour, a little painful. When I think about what happened to him, I want to give him all the best things. This is what heartache feels like, Mu Chi said to Little Chi seriously. Mu Chi said to Little Chi seriously, my daughter has really grown up. She knows how to love people. Thinking about how she was discussing boys with her mother at this age, Little Chi was still a little embarrassed. Mom, you're not laughing at me in your heart, are you? Mu Chi thought about it and felt a little innocent. Why can't Mommy be your good friend and best friend? Because I'm still too young. After Mu Chi heard this, she pulled her into her arms. It's precisely because you're young that feelings are the cleanest and purest. Your mother knows this feeling. Back then, I also carefully liked your father and I encountered many obstacles and objections. But I understand that obstacles and objections can't stop feelings from happening. Since that's the case, why should I avoid it? After all, I don't want my daughter to be unable to enjoy her youth because of these obstacles. Feelings are never right or wrong. What's wrong is a person's choice. After hearing Mu Chi's words, Little Chi leaned into Mu Chi's arms and rubbed against her. You're the best mother in the world. Mu Chi deliberately teased her and asked, you don't want to marry your father now? My father is an old fox. I like little wolf dogs. Hey, that's too much. Although you have a new lover, you can't dislike my precious. Mu Chi let go of her daughter and patted Little Chi's head like Yenji did. Rest early. I'll go to the company to pick up your father. Got it? If you want to call, do it openly. Don't hide under the covers and hurt your eyes, Mu Chi told her daughter before leaving. Little Chi stuck out her tongue at Mu Chi. Her mother had seen through this. She really had the best parents in the world. How great would it be if she could share this with Yenji? I'm taking a shower. Do you want to see? On the other end, Yenji's voice was low and tempting. I'm taking a shower. Do you want to watch? On the other side of the phone, Yenji's voice was low and seductive. Who wants to see? Don't you want to see your husband's body sooner or later? Yenji continued to tease. Little Chi's face turned red from being teased. She shouldn't have felt sorry for this dead gangster. Shao. I said I, shao to comma shao comma use. I, chi comma I comma, I comma I comma you. After saying this, Yenji laughed even more heartily. Can't the alleys on the street satisfy you anymore? Madam? What I want to say is, don't be sad about your parents passing. I'll be there for you in the future. It was rare for Little Chi to interrupt when he was not being serious. Chapter 1069. Without waiting for Yenji's reaction, Little Chi hung up the phone so that this person wouldn't be serious all day long. Yenji heard the beeping sound and shook his head helplessly. Who would just hang up the phone after saying sweet nothings? But for some reason he suddenly felt that his frozen heart seemed to have signs of cracking. So, he touched his heart and closed his eyes in satisfaction. Because of the sports meet, Little Chi and the honest Yanzhen became good friends. When Yenji was not in the classroom, Little Chi would go to Yanzhen's seat to chat. That girl took after her appearance. Because she was gender neutral, she had a handsome side in her bones. She hated small groups of girls the most, and she never schemed against others with other girls. However, because of her gender-neutral attire, it was easy for boys and girls to ignore her. She herself was also very low-key. If it weren't for the sports meet, Little Chi felt that she wouldn't have been able to find this friend worth making. There were other girls who had privately tried to rope Yanzhen in and asked her to isolate Little Chi. However, Yanzhen coldly rejected them with one sentence. Jealousy makes people ugly. From that moment on, the relationship between Little Chi and Yanzhen began to become unusual. During the first class in the morning, Yenji carried his school bag and walked into the classroom like a bad student. Little Chi thought of what she had said to him last night and couldn't help but feel her cheeks heat up. She felt that she had been too proactive. Did men not cherish her? When Yenji sat down, he saw his little wife's red face. He immediately asked in confusion, "What are you thinking about so early in the morning?" "I'm not thinking about you." Little Chi obviously didn't mean what she said. "Do you think I believe you?" Yenji put down his school bag in amusement and tilted his head to look straight at Little Chi. If you didn't think about me, I'll cut off my head and let you sit on it. Little Chi was speechless. She was going to die. It was suddenly so bloody. Little Chi turned her head and ignored this person. During class, the two of them were not as intimate as they were after school. Because in the eyes of others, Little Chi was He Yenji's enslaved little brother. Are you looking forward to seeing my friend tonight? While the old witch was in class, He Yenji suddenly wrote a small note to Little Chi. Little Chi replied with disdain. Think about it. This is acknowledging your sister-in-law's identity. Seeing this line of words, Little Chi replied to He Yenji in a domineering manner, I don't need anyone to acknowledge my identity. When He Yenji saw this, he gave Little Chi a thumbs up. If this girl wasn't the daughter of a rich family, she would really be suitable to be a big sister. However, even though they had made an appointment, the two of them were unable to make it. After lunch, He Yenji received a call and left the school. He didn't even say a word to Little Chi. During the afternoon class, Little Chi looked at the empty seat beside her and felt very upset. But who asked her to fall in love with a hooligan? That afternoon, after school, news of He Yenji getting into another fight spread. However, this time it wasn't those little hooligans. He Yenji had really provoked someone he shouldn't have. Little Chi and Yenjin left school together. However, when she heard the news, her face suddenly fell. Yenjin looked at him and asked, What's going on between you and He Yenji? You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.